Well, all stats, if you believe them and you think they play a part, would suggest we're going to get a lot of goals here. Both sides have conceded in every one of their 7 games so far. They have the 2 most porous defences in the National League. Fylde have let in 19 goals. Aldershot have let in 18 so far. On paper, it's going to be a 3-2 or a 4-3 to somebody. It's not a happy hunting ground for the Shots. They've lost here 1-0, 3-0, 7-1 from memory. I don't think they've left here with a point, but as speaking to a couple of the players beforehand, they don't know about that. They don't worry about that. They're here as Tommy Widdrington's side from this year, and they'll give it a right good go, I'm sure. And hopefully they'll have one of their better days today where they score more than they concede. The starting lineup has 3 changes in it, and I'll just run through the full side and highlight them as we go. So in goal for Aldershot this afternoon is Jack Bycroft, who's obviously here on loan from Southampton. The back 3 is Kian Harries, Kobe Rowe, and I suspect, but it's not confirmed yet, Aaron Jones. And then Harfield will be the left wing back, and then either Glover or Frost will be the right wing back, with the other one in the centre of midfield with Ollie Scott, who starts today. Josh Stokes keeps his place in the number 10 position, playing behind Lauren Tollage and Kwame Thomas, because Jack Barham hasn't travelled due to a slight knock. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've got before us. The sun's out, but it's occasionally disappearing behind some fluffy white clouds. The players, I'm sure, will be grateful for that, and we'll keep you posted throughout the afternoon. So listeners, if you're tuned in already, as I know Steve Brett is, hopefully you're hearing us loud and clear and consistently. We are on one of the adapted kits today, so it should be all good, the connections, as long as the Wi-Fi remains good. A slight break in the transmission at my end, which I'm told by our producers you're not getting at your end. It should be constant, but let us know if you've got any issues with the sound quality. Alongside me, just finishing his own preparation, but I'd like to do the normal microphone test that we do if we can, please, Al. Alan Baldwin, who we worked out last time after you came on, when we thought you'd done 12 or 13 games. It was actually how many?
17.
17. We won't go into your record, other than to say there's been a few wins in there. A few meaning 3, right?
Yeah,
anyway,
not great record. In fact, the last time we were at AFC Fylde together, it was the last game before the COVID suspension of the football.
10th of March 2020.
Yep, 2020, and we lost 1-0 on that day. Hopefully there'll be a few more goals at our end, or in our end, whatever you like to call it. But it wasn't a great day, and I remember it very uncomfortable that day. We were sat amongst a lot of reporters from national newspapers because of all the games that were being cancelled.
Absolutely. Yeah, we lost 1-0. Danny Searle got sent off, didn't he? He came over to apologise to the fans and ended up in another heated exchange. But yeah, good afternoon, Graham Whitehead, who can hear us loud and clear. Yeah, I mean, the good thing, Al, is you and I come here, you know, and obviously we bleed red and blue. Everybody knows that, and we come here with scars. But the majority of this, in fact, I think the whole Aldershot squad don't really, because I was talking before the game to a few of the players, and Tommy Willard, who I'm pretty sure is now our longest serving player, says he's never been here before, and he's closely followed by Ryan Glover, who's not been here before, not with Aldershot. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. There's been a lot of changes in those 3 years, 3.5 years really, but yeah, that team that day didn't perform, and I think it was quite a even contest, but Danny Philliskirk, who starts for Fylde today, is one of the survivors for that game. I don't think there's many on the Fylde bench.
No, he's definitely their longest serving player. I got it in my notes actually. He's in his 7th season, 32-year-old now, but yeah, he's been a pretty consistent name on their team sheet for a long time, hasn't he? Danny Whitehead's been and gone, I think, and Josh Kay is returning to his side that he played as a youth, and obviously more well known for his time at Barrow in that championship
had 5 years
side.
at Barrow, so he's been used to success.
Good stuff.
It's a strong bench for Fylde, with Omateo and Nick Holton and Harry Davis, both, well, all of them you would have thought would have been starters. I did anyway.
I am a little bit staggered, if I'm honest. I half suspected with Omateo, because speaking to some people in the Fylde media, they said he's been more effective coming off the bench. He's a big threat if he does come on. Of course, he played for Tommy Widrington at King's Lynn last year, and it was very close, certainly in talks to come to Aldershot in the summer. But Fylde came up clearly with a better offer, and off he went. Nick Horton, wow. I don't think he's subbed for many games for Fylde. And obviously they could always come into the fray at some point, but Aldershot need to take full advantage of those two being on the bench and go and get the first goal. I think Fylde have conceded the first goal in most of their games this season. They have pulled level a few times, but as I say, both teams' defences have been poor.
They've got no problem scoring goals going forward, and that's reflected in the lineups. I think there's plenty of goals in both sides. With Omateo, I did, after Tommy Widrington came to Aldershot, I actually went a week later to see King's Lynn play at Alfreton, and Omateo started that day. He was pretty quiet, shall we say, and the players that impressed me most have not come to Aldershot. Josh Barrett and Josh Coulson, those two had great games on that day, and they won 2-0. So perhaps the chairman there thought, you're not getting our best players.
Absolutely. We wait the two teams. We're 5 minutes away from kick-off, but we're pretty much underway now with our commentary. We'll keep you posted on the other games in the National League this afternoon, one of which is finished already, and it's yet another game in which a side that was behind and down to 10 men came back and scored. And it finished 1-1. Southend 1-0 up against Halifax, and then Halifax had a man sent off, but they managed to find an equaliser, so the points are shared now. Southend move up to 3 points, obviously having been docked 10. They've picked up 13 across the course of the season. Luke Summerfield was the guy sent off. Fongut got the goal for Southend. Adam Senior equalised in the 74th minute. And hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. Let us know of any issues. We're battling a little bit with the PA system at the minute, but in just a couple of 3 minutes when the sides are out, that might pave the way for a clearer and calmer commentary. Let's have a look at the shots, faithful. They've got the end away to our right and the last area of the seating, haven't they, Al? We haven't got a good view of that. I'm going to guess it. Well, it's definitely over 100 today. I think there's probably inside at the minute about 120, but we can't fully see the seats, can we?
No, I mean standing definitely over 100. Sitting, we don't know. Certainly there's at least one in sitting. My good friend Terry Pusey, and can I just say that he's 77 tomorrow, so happy birthday to Terry.
Happy birthday to Terry, even though he can't hear us. A hello to Paul Blundell, who I suspect is listening. He's recovering still from health issues, and he did manage to get to the EBB last week, but this is too long a journey for him at the moment, according to doctor's orders. But hope it's a happier afternoon for the shots here. I can see Heather Nicholson and Gina Basildon away to our right. A couple of the Shots fans. Gina's based up north anyway. Heather, bless her heart, continues to put the hard miles in despite her own health issues. Here come the teams out.
Yeah, I had a word with Heather before the game. She very rarely misses a game. A very loyal supporter through good times and bad. So if you listen, well, you won't be listening, Heather, but good luck to you this afternoon.
The teams led out. Alex Whitmore leading out AFC Fylde, and Aaron Jones leading out Aldershot. We'll wait and see whether Aaron Jones plays in that back three. It's got to be, I think, either Aaron Jones one side or Ollie Harfield the other. So we'll look out for that pretty quickly. Thankfully, Kobe Rowe has recovered from illness. He'll definitely be in the back three, as will Kean Harries, who I spoke to before the game. He's a Birmingham lad from the Solihull area. I didn't realise that until I spoke to him. Sorry, Al.
I think we could even be reverting to a back four with...
No,
with
Tommy's assured me it's not that. No, Tommy's assured me it's the same formation.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye. I mean, I considered it. That's the question I asked him about 2 o'clock. I said, look, not pushing for the team, but formation-wise, will you change today? So, interesting. Well, Ali Harfield's possibly. We'll wait and see where Aaron Jones goes to. I'm not going to read the team out until I know the formation. So I'll start with the AFC Fylde team, which I'm reliably informed by Fylde Media is as follows. Similar formation to Aldershot, 3-4-1-2. Max Metcalf in goal. He is picked instead of Theo Richardson, who's let in a lot of goals. He's the substitute goalkeeper, or the reserve goalkeeper. Pierce Bird, the former Kings Lynn centre-back, Alex Whitmore, the captain, and Emeka Obi. Luke Conlon will be the left wing-back, Josh Kay the right wing-back, and then a very, very experienced midfield two of Danny Philliskirk and Danny Whitehead. Academy Player of the Year, Taylor O'Kane, will play in the Josh Stokes number 10 position for Fylde. And then Sia Legenza up front, a 20-year-old Welsh South African, and Luke Sharman. That's the Fylde starting lineup, with a reminder that Omateo and Nick Horton are on the bench. We're about to get underway here. Referee Michael Crusham is making his National League debut as well. And we are underway. The shots in all red are kicking from right to left as Fylde put the ball in touch for a throw right down by the corner flag. Fylde are in all white, Aldershot are in red and blue striped shirts and then red shorts and red socks. And I can confirm that Ollie Harfield is the left centre-back and Ollie Scott is playing left wing-back. That means that Frost and Glover are still the central two. And Tolage and Kwame Thomas up top, Josh Stokes in the number 10 position. So it's Jack Bycroft in goal, Kean Harries, Kobe Rowe and Ollie Harfield, the back three. And then Jones and Scott, the wing backs. Here's Josh Stokes on the left hand side, skips past Whitmore, and then the ball's put into touch by Fylde. A second attacking throw. Aldershot starting on the front foot. We're 1 minute 10 seconds in. The throw into the area and it's headed across the goal. Half cleared by Fylde, only as far as Josh Stokes. Gets it onto his right foot, tries a shot. It's low, it's on target, and it's comfortable for the goalkeeper Max Metcalf. But the first shot on target comes from the shots inside the first couple of minutes. I don't know about you, Al, but I always like to see that. Waddock's teams always used to do it, didn't they?
Yeah, we've got ambition to get forward. That's a good thing.
Okay, so in just the second minute, Aldershot's top scorer, Josh Stokes, getting a shot through a couple of bodies. A little bit weak, but on target. There's a ball down the line from Ollie Harfield. What do you think today? He's obviously a big threat for the shots at left wing back, but he's got a more disciplined job to do today, and his main job will be focused on keeping Fylde out and trying to get a rare clean sheet for the shots.
Yeah, well, Ollie Harfield's strengths are going forward, so it's a big game for him. You know, we saw him start at left back in his first season at Aldershot, and he didn't cover himself in glory.
Ollie Scott, pretty sure I'm right in saying it's his first start for shots. He's come off the bench, hasn't he, already? But it's first start for him. Throw in from Fylde, taken in. Harfield does well to win the ball, and Glover's first onto the loose ball, plays it into Stokes, who tries to hold it up, and it's wrestled off him legally, according to the debutant referee Michael Crusham. And Fylde now playing it across the midfield. Almost gave it away, but good work there from the very experienced Dennis Philliskirk to protect the ball. And now Whitmore tries a long diagonal, and it's over Rowe, and it's over the number 23 Danny Whitehead, who just made a forward run as well. and goes out into touch behind the goal. It'll be a goal kick to Aldershot. The ball boy's a bit confused of where to go with the ball. He's now given it to Kobe Rose, giving it to Jack Bycroft, who takes it quickly. And bizarrely passed it within the area, and the referee didn't blow. Ball forward. Kwame Thomas gets up really well and heads it on, but technically it's a header on target. It was never going to threaten Metcalf, was it? But good signs in terms of delivery, and Kwame Thomas getting up well. Al?
Yeah, I'm just saying that he won the header well, which is what we want to see from our target man.
Yeah.
But it just harmlessly bounced through to the keeper.
Tommy Widrington's top his tan on the training ground this week. Very smart, as ever, suited and booted. Aldershot with the throw in down the line from Harfield towards Tolaj. Heads it inside looking for Stokes. Fylde have got it, turn it round the corner. Conlon picks it up, great tackle from Cian Harries. It's won by Stokes. He then can't get it forward, and he presses the centre midfielder Phyllis Kirk. Kwame Thomas, who along with Theo Widrington, of course, is suspended today, is on 3 yellow cards for the season. One of the things about this lack of tolerance of dissent and giving yellow cards for this, that and everything, they haven't changed the tolerance amount. Still 5 and you're suspended. So the likes of Kwame Thomas, who must be a yellow card about every 23 minutes on the pitch, and Theo Widrington, when he is available, need to be careful. There's a good bit of strength there from the unit that is Emeka Obi. Just pushes up against Tolaj, means that he can't get up and jump for the ball. Goes all the way through to the keeper Metcalf, and now chasing at the other end. Harfield with a little bit of a shove into the Fylde player, who's ended up in a heap by the advertising boards, and nothing given for that. And that epitomises current refereeing at this level for sure, doesn't it? I mean, that's a blatant push from Harfield.
In days gone by, that would have been a foul, wouldn't it?
It would. And I think it's, we talk about players not being clever when it comes to the dissent and things. When it comes to little bits of physical contact, I can understand why they do try something like that, because he got away with it. His Glover holding the ball up well, clips it inside, finds Stokes, holds the ball up. Now he's surrounded by 3 Fylde players, and they get it back through Whitmore to the keeper Metcalf, who 6'5", same height as the regular shots goalkeeper Geordie van Stappershoef. Of course, Jack Bycroft is in today, conceded 4 times on his debut at the EBB last week. Fylde go harmlessly into touch just over the halfway line, throw in to the shots. We are almost 6 minutes in, and it's Fylde 0, Aldershot 0. I remember in that infamous Tour of Duty game, I don't want to keep repeating what the scoreline was that day. Every Shots fan knows it, but I think at this stage, 6 or 7 minutes in, it was already 1-1 or 2-1 to Fylde, I think. It was a crazy, crazy game.
Yeah, not one of my most memorable occasions. I've seen 2 games here, and 7-1 and 1-0, so hopefully there's a change of that sequence.
Yeah, and the other game I think was 3-0 under Gary Waddock. And I remember the Aldershot media manager at the time, which was Chris Woods, started his post-match question to Gary Waddock. He said, "So Gary, that's 6 consecutive defeats." And Gary didn't like it. I mean, he was only pointing out the fact, but
did he?
Yeah, it was that miserable start to the season. The one where Aldershot went beating playoff contenders down to relegation battlers. There's a really poor ball from young Taylor O'Kane, who I say is the Academy Player of the Year last year, and he's getting an extended run in the side in the number 10 position, very similar to Josh Stokes, and he's highly thought of, but that was a wretched pass from him there, straight into touch.
He's only 18 and he scored in his 2nd game, so he's...
As Stokes holding the ball up, and he is being fouled and brought to the ground by Phyllis Kirk. Good and clear decision there for the referee, and Aldershot take the free quickly with Harfield. He exchanges passes with Cian Harris and then drills the ball out to the right hand side. That should be easy for Fylde to cut out. They do, but Glover's then cut out the next pass and found Aaron Jones, who's looking to go one-on-one against his man Luke Conlon out there. Clips the ball in, looking for Tolaj. That's very difficult for him to control, and he can't. Long ball forward from Fylde. Cut out by Cian Harris, by the way, who's playing as the centre of the 3 centre backs this afternoon. Rowe on the right, Harfield on the left. Ball from Stokes, I think it was intended for Harfield, but Glover's cut it out, and then a little bit too much on his pass forward, and that's all the way through to Max Medcalf in the Fylde goal. 3 players I thought were certs to play today was Theo Richardson in goal, Nick Horton and Golden Mateo. One's not even on the bench and the other 2 are on the bench. Yeah. Nick Horton, well, I keep hearing everybody talk about what he must be missing something to not be playing in the Football League, but nobody says what it is. But he's a class player. He's not even making Fylde's starting lineup this afternoon, so it's an interesting decision. Here's Josh Kay cutting in on the right hand side onto his left foot, tries a ball that's cut out. Stokes does well to get a foot onto it, and Tyler Frost bursts through the middle and carries the ball a little way. Tolaj wants it out on the right. Can he get to the edge of the area and tries to dribbles one way then the other, squares it with his right foot into Frost. Frost tries a shot on target, good effort, saved low down to his right by Metcalf. Lovely build up from the shots there. 9 minutes gone, 0-0. Alan Baldwin.
Yeah, it was a good move. Good play by Frost, picking up in his own half, driving forward, feeding Tolaj, and giving the pass back to Frost. But it was a comfortable save, I would say, but a good move.
Yes, Stokes, Thomas, and Frost have all got something on target in the first 10 minutes. It remains 0-0 though. Fylde yet to trouble Jack Bycroft. Here's Harfield bombing forward, and he's still going, edge of the penalty area, finds Thomas, not the best ball. Thomas then goes down and sort of buys a free kick a little bit, Al, doesn't he?
That was a bit lucky. I don't think that was a free kick.
Yeah, I think that, no, exactly. He knew how to take the contact. We used to say about Scott Rendell was so good at doing that, wasn't he? And Kwame Thomas, to be fair, has been around a bit and he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he has. We're still looking to see the best of him, but it's early days. Free kick on the left by Ollie Harfield. This is where he's at his best.
Level with the edge of the penalty area, halfway between the touchline and the penalty area, and it comes from Harfield to the far post. Thomas is up, heads it down. Tolaj can't get on it. Glover might. Glover switches it to Frost. Now he'll shoot right-footed. Little deflection on that, and it's cleared away by Fylde. Only as far as Harfield, who takes it down nicely. Prods the ball back to Ollie Scott, who's just covering at the back, finds Aaron Jones. He spreads it out to the right wing where Kean Harris picks it up, and he flips it over to the other side to Stokes. He tries to get a little flicked header in towards Tolaj, but not enough contact on it, and it will drift into touch. And the throw-in's been given to Aldershot, which surprised me there. Taken quickly. Harfield, Stokes, Tolaj. Harfield on the overlap, should be able to get a cross in it comes. Missed by first couple of players to the edge of the area to Glover. He sends it right to Frost. Frost back to Glover. Good start, promising start from the shots. Here's another cross in from Harfield. Thomas is up, and I think a little bit of contact from him, possibly some from Emeka Obi. Goes behind the goal away to our left, and it's given as a goal kick. Fylde 0, shots 0, but no doubt whatsoever, Al, which side has started the better.
Yeah, we've had 4 efforts on goal, 3 of them on target. Thomas just didn't get quite enough on that one, but good cross from Harfield. I'm very impressed with Harfield playing at left back. He's still
left wing,
getting forward.
Left centre back, yeah.
Left centre back, yeah.
First goal in the National League this afternoon in the 3 o'clock kickoffs has gone to Barnet, who are 1-0 up against Altrincham. Good afternoon to Steve Ray, who's listening from the Esplanade at Shanklin. Cheesy chips in hand, wearing his silver grey leotard and wellies. I think there might be 2 lies in there and 1 truth. Here's Ollie Scott on the left side of the penalty area, squares it in.
Ooh.
There's a lovely whipped ball in, but it just races in front of everybody, really. Thomas was the furthest forward, and even he couldn't get on it. He was about 6 yards out, and the ball was played in the corridor of uncertainty about 3 yards out. But my goodness me, Aldershot probably the only disappointment, Al, is that they haven't scored.
Yeah, again, good play by Tolaj. He put a nice ball into Scott, and he flashed one across the face of the goal, but unfortunately there's nobody there to get on the end of it.
That's Alan Baldwin. I'm Rob Worley. Listen to BBC Radio Surrey Sport. From the Fylde coast, coming together between 2 players there. Nothing given by the referee. Harfield hooks it forward. Header back, finds Ollie Scott. Controls it well, plays it up to Lauren Tolaj. He's wrestled the ball off him, and Taylor O'Kane has quickly got company of Glover. Goes out wide to Kay. And the one worry for shots is that they've had 4 half chances already. Fylde have had 0. You just worry And those are the kind of scenarios where sometimes you get a side scoring with their first attempt. But there's a ball out to the right. Thomas can only flick it on into space. Emeka Obi will pick that up. And eventually it goes back to Obi. He's got no shots player pressing him at the moment. So he'll drift forward towards halfway and try and clip a ball through the middle. And that's being chased. And it's been kept in by Ligenza when Ollie Scott was a little bit passive. Throw into Fylde, and there was no need for that, Al, was there?
No, I thought he could have seen that one out for a throw-in, but give credit to Ligenza, he got there.
Throw-in will be taken by Josh Kay into Ligenza and back, and he skips inside his man Glover and buys a foul pretty cheaply, much like Kwame Thomas did at the other end. I think he could have stayed in possession of the ball if he'd wanted to there, Ligenza, but he went down, the referee.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rash challenge by Ryan Glover there. No need. He wasn't threatening anything.
We are in the 15th minute already. This one's racing by. First attacking set piece for the home side. It's Danny Whitehead who's going to take it. In it comes, and it's headed behind, I think by a, well no, it's kept in by Tolaj, who plays the ball forward. Coming together between Josh Kay and Stokes. Both managers appeal for something, nothing's given. And Fylde have the ball in their own half with the big centre-back Emeka Obi. I'm going to do a radio update very shortly, Al, so I won't come to you just now. Ball through the middle. Played into touch, throw into the shots. Yeah, well, exactly 15 minutes gone, and the shocking scoreline is 0-0. Aldershot, though, have had 4 or 5 half chances already, but hang on, here come Fylde. They might get a first chance of the afternoon. Whitehead shoots, it's blocked by Rowe, and it will drift out to the left-hand side. Well, they will send it back into the far post, and it's headed back across goal, and it might be throdded in. Shot as well at the second attempt. Bycroft gets it under control, and that minute or so that I've described to you is in complete contrast to the first 15 minutes of the game, where Stokes, Thomas, Frost and Thomas all had chances of some description. Probably Tyler Frost had the best one. He got a bit of pace on his shot, but it was saved low down to his right by Max Metcalf. Here we are now then, 15 and a half minutes in. AFC Fylde 0, Shots 0. Here's Fylde in possession on the halfway line, being well pressed by the Shots. And a ball inside, squared across to the youngster O'Kane. He's going to spread it out to the right hand side to Josh Kay. Kay going one-on-one against Ollie Scott. Scott does well to cut out the cross and put it behind. It's the number one job that Tommy Widrington would want anyone to do, and stop the cross coming in. But now they will get through Danny Whitehead a corner here, away to our right, in front of the Shots fans. I'm going to say perhaps 140, maybe pushing 150, behind the goal away to our right in the covered stand and in the final section of the main stand that we're in. Right-footed out swinger from Whitehead, and it comes headed away by Kwame Thomas, and that's one good thing about having a big focal point striker up front. It gives you a little bit extra when he comes back to defend the set pieces as well.
Yeah, he did well there. I think we need that height in the area, because we've conceded too many goals from corners.
That's Alan Baldwin. I'm Rob Worrell, and it's 0-0 here at Mill Farm. In the sunshine, Al and I thankfully are in such a huge roof over this main stand that we're nice and comfortable in the shade, temperature-wise, and got a very good view as well. We're only, I don't know, 8 or 10 rows back.
Yeah, it's a brilliant position for a commentator. You
spot on in it. Probably one of the best in the league, I'd say.
It is, yeah. And it's a lovely stadium as well.
Yeah, here comes Emeka Obi over halfway. Stokes battles with him and puts his foot in and wins it, and wins a free kick as well.
Well done, Stokes.
And I still say there, there's probably not another 19-year-old playing in the National League that is as strong on the ball as Stokes. Here's Lauren Tullage skipping inside away from his man, tries the ball through the middle, looking for Stokes. He's going to pick the ball up just inside the left-hand side of the penalty area here, sends it back to Scott. Scott with the early cross, Tullage breaking, busted a gut to get there at the far side, and it's just drifted out of play. More encouraging signs for Shots, just nothing to show for it. And Tullage just a coming together with Pierce Bird on the left-hand side.
Pierce Bird threw the ball back and hit Tullage on the way back to the...
That's it. He didn't like it, but what the players need to do is not react to stuff like that, particularly on a hot day, and particularly the way that referees are waving yellow cards around at the minute. A reminder that Michael Crusham is making his debut at National League level. And no major moments for him so far. He's handled it pretty well. Ball forward, Rowe jumps and can't win it. Charman onto it. Rowe then recovers well and gets the ball back, plays it down the line. It's kept in play by Phyllis Kirk, and Fylde will recycle possession through the centre backs, one way and then the other. 19 minutes gone. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 0. Alphabetically, both sides started the season in the top three. Fylde, of course, are just in what I call the Aldershot Town position, 21st at the minute.
You're clutching at straws there, Rob.
Aldershot are in the dizzy heights of 16th. Fylde just the 1 win and 2 draws this season. Shots have had 2 wins and 1 draw. And as we mentioned a few times in the build-up to this game, the 2 most porous defences in the National League. And they both kept the opposition out for 19.5 minutes now. Shots win a free kick on halfway. Tullage is caught. And it is Woking 0, Solihull Moors 1. The only unbeaten side in the National League. 1-0 up through Josh Kelly. And it's Kidderminster 1, Rochdale 0. Kidderminster the bottom 4 as well. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. Here's Ollie Scott into the area, squares it. An offside though given against him. And it's Oxford City 0, Hartlepool 1. So plenty of goals elsewhere, and Paul Blundell.
Another good incisive move there. Just Ollie Scott wandered offside, but he was in a great position. It's just a shame that he couldn't hold his run, but that's encouraging.
That's Alan Baldwin, and I'm Rob Warren. Listen to BBC Radio Surrey Sport, and we're in the northwest coast. And here's Fylde attacking on the right-hand side as we look at the play. The ball's played forward and cut out by Phyllis Kirk. And the Fylde manager, Adam Murray, tries an extravagant back heel, which doesn't go back onto the pitch, it just goes into the stand. Throw into Aldershot on halfway. Harfield takes. Tullage is fouled. Right in front of us, just on the halfway line. And it remains Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 0. As we enter the 22nd minute, so almost halfway through the first half. There's a free kick given away by Kwame Thomas, who's got to be careful. When he mentioned that he's on 3 bookings for the season, he's like a walking yellow card, isn't he, Al?
Yeah, there's no need for that. He had no chance of winning the ball, and he just backed into the player and conceded a soft free kick.
It's one thing letting them know that your presence is there. It's another thing just
making it obvious.
Blatant silly fouls. And you know, this referee's started determined, you know, just to keep a low profile. He doesn't look like one of those who wants to be whipping his cards out here, there and everywhere, and doesn't want to show the first one too early. Here's Josh Kay on the right hand side, 1-on-1 against Scott, comes in, tries a little shot with his left foot, gets a bit of curl on it, but we're perfectly positioned behind it, Al, to see that it was never going to trouble Jack Bycroft.
No, I mean, Josh Kay has had quite a lot of success at Barrow, and he's a useful player here on the right hand side, and that has been a weakness of ours on the left hand side of the defence, so we need to be careful.
Ball forward is knocked down by Kwame Thomas, inadvertently to himself, and then he's brought down. It might be Phyllis Kirk again. I beg your pardon, it's not. It's the Fylde number 33 Pierce Bird on this occasion. Referee has a little word with him, and I think he says he's pointed one way or the other, and that's a warning from the referee to Peace Bird. He said, I've given a couple of fouls against you now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Thomas did well. He shielded the ball, and the Peace Bird had to come through from behind.
So it's about 15-20 yards in from the touchline, left of centre, and about 40 yards out. Harfield's going to clip it into the far post, headed away by Obi. Heavy touch from Glover. He makes a tackle and almost wins it back. Poor clearance from Fylde. So Aldershot have got it back, and Aaron Johnson plays the ball into a pocket of space for Ryan Glover, who sends it out to the left to Josh Stokes. He turns inside, and then the ball into the feet of Tollage, who spreads it out to the left-hand side to Harfield. Harfield with another cross in, and Kwame Thomas is up there. Great little fingertip punch away from the keeper Metcalf, just as Thomas was rising. Another good delivery. Ball in, headed on by Kwame Thomas, straight into the arms, the grateful arms of Metcalf. But another promising moment for the Shots going forward, Al, which ultimately has led to nothing. And Legenza, well, Scott thinks he's fouled him. Thinks he's been fouled by Legenza. Nothing given. Shots come away with it with Kean Harris. Ball up to Kwame Thomas. He chests it down, gets the ball back under control to Frost, and Frost out right to Aaron Jones. Ball down the line for Stokes, who tries to roll his man, and the assistant referee on the far side gives flags for a foul against Josh Stokes, saying that he'd got hold of the foul player's shirt. He's a lot closer than I am. I couldn't spot it, did you?
No, I didn't.
Probably least said the better about last weekend, but just to say, lots of opinions shared after the game. All I did was share mine, that I thought it was a particularly disappointing crowd at Aldershot, given the entertainment that's been on show this season. Wasn't having a go at any individuals. Everybody got their reasons to be there or not be there. Bit of a storm in a teacup, if I'm really honest. But what I promise you, listeners, I will always give my honest opinion. And if you want a passionless commentary, then maybe campaign for someone else to sit here. Right, foul player's gone down. Needs a bit of treatment. And there's a bit of claret on his face, Al. I can see that from here. And I think it is Danny Philliskirk.
Yeah, I think it is.
And there's going to be a drinks water break. Perfect time for that anyway. It's not excessively hot here. We've got some white fluffy cloud. It's only about 24 degrees anyway. There were warnings sent round by the National League this week about water breaks, all that kind of stuff, because for those teams playing sort of in the south, it is 30 degrees today, but not here up north.
No, I think it's been a good 25 minutes for Aldershot. They've produced 3 or 4 good moves, had 3 or 4 shots on target, none of them particularly hard for the keeper, but at least that's encouraging from an attacking perspective. And so far there's only one scare in the Aldershot penalty area, so let's hope that continues for the next 65 minutes or more.
Yeah, Philliskirk is just having his wound. It's a facial wound, washed, and hopefully they can stem the flow of blood and maybe get some sort of a head bandage on him so that he can continue. Meanwhile, we're going to do an update to our radio listeners. Yeah, perfect timing actually, because we got a stoppage in play for an injury, a blood injury to Danny Philliskirk for Fylde. 26 minutes gone, or just under that, when the stoppage occurred. And it's been a really encouraging 26 minutes for Aldershot Town. They've not really had any scares in front of their own goal, but they've had 4 or 5 half chances. They've got a lot of crosses into the Fylde box. Unfortunately, probably the only bad news for Shots is that they haven't actually scored so far, but Stokes looks lively. Ollie Scott on his debut. Kwame Thomas is looking quite dominant in the air, and the Shots look very, very comfortable so far. But 26 and a half minutes in, it remains AFC Fylde 0, Shots 0.
Sorry.
Go well.
I didn't hear why Jack Barham's not in the squad today.
Slight knock, I'm told. Not sure whether he carried it from Saturday's game or picked up a knock in training. It's not thought to be too serious.
He's been a very encouraging start for the season for Jack. I'm very impressed with his work rate and his ability to find space beyond the back four. So yeah, we could have done with him today, but it's still early days. And
so good to see him getting up, because he's actually a little bit like Glover tremendously good for his ratio of height really in the air. And he scored a lovely headed goal, didn't he? Which he's very capable of with the right delivery.
Yeah, he's not had the output that his performance had deserved this year, and I was glad to see him get on the score sheet twice last week, and long may that continue.
It's an interesting decision here from the debutant referee. He's still allowing Phyllis-Kirk to receive treatment to a facial wound, and he very easily could have been brought to the side of the pitch for that to continue, but he's allowed him to still sit there in the centre circle.
Yeah, I think this is something that needs to be improved. If there's an injury, if it's not a facial injury, then play should continue. For a facial injury, then let's get him to the sidelines and treated there.
Absolutely. I mean, there's enough added time played as it is. This is an unnecessarily...
Well, you've got a train to catch tonight. I think you might be struggling, even if I'm giving you a lift.
Right, he's up, and by the looks of it, although he'll have to come off and wait 30 seconds, they've managed to stem the flow without the need for any head bandages or anything. Maybe it was just a bleeding nose. Couldn't quite tell, but he has having to change his...
Must be blood on the shorts.
His kit now. He's changing both shirt and shorts.
And shirt, yeah.
And they do have another shirt there ready for him. And
that was quicker than a Formula One change of tyres.
Yeah, it doesn't have a number or a name on the back, so we'll know that that's Danny Phyllis-Kirk from this point on. Meanwhile, play is back underway. We've had probably a 4-minute stoppage there at least.
Yeah.
Here's Harfield sending in an early cross in towards Tolaj. He flicks it on, and it should be picked up by Condon on the far side. It is, but Frost is onto the loose ball, and it's played to Kobe Rowe. Rowe across to Kean Harries, drifts over halfway, and he tries a shot from distance, falls backwards, it goes wide. Ollie Harfield says, come on, just send it out to me, and I could have put a decent
I'm not sure if that was
in.
a shot. I just think he miscued his cross to the far post, to be honest, but either way it was wasted.
Right, the ball's with Metcalf in the Fylde goal. Reminder that he's come in for Theo Richardson today. I'm not aware of any injury. I think Richardson just been dropped after conceding 19 goals in 7 games. Good headed winner from Kean Harries. Ball on from Ollie Scott. A little bit of shoving of each other from Whitmore and Kwame Thomas. Whitmore, the right of the 3 Fylde centre backs. Amika Obi in the centre. And then Pierce Bird on the left. Here's Kean Harries doing really well to extend his leg just to tow the ball back to Jack Bycroft, and Bycroft just picked it up, and Fylde have not even appealed for a back pass.
I thought they would have.
Bit of an odd one. It's a bit of a muted atmosphere here in the stadium. It's a great start from the shots, although they haven't scored. What a difference it could make if they can get their noses in front today. Here's Tolaj picking the ball up, and judged to have just clipped his man as he did so. Fylde take it quickly. Kean Harris does really well to win the ball again. He's had a good start to the game, other than that rather wild long distance shot that he just had.
Yeah,
here's Harfield.
Perhaps he's more comfortable in the centre of defence than the left side, but he certainly had a better start to the game than the ones I've seen.
I know Harfield's got a more disciplined role in the left of the 3 centre-backs today, but he's actually getting loads of opportunity to break forward as well.
He is,
which is quite surprising. So if they can keep that fluid, then that's great news. Harfield with the ball forward. Stokes can't get it under control. Kwame Thomas does. Finds Tolaj. Tolaj gets it under control. Where's he going to go with it? He tries a shot from distance. It's not a bad effort. Keeper was well off his line.
Very good
drifts
idea.
Just wide, but that's when it is worth having a go, isn't it? Tolaj in the 32nd minute. And all 5 clear-cut efforts on goal this afternoon so far have come from the shots, but it remains 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tolaj. He's very quick thinking. He's got quick feet, and that showed he's thinking quite, remarkably. He just looked up and he saw the keeper fractionally off his line.
Here's Frost picking the ball up in midfield, turns sharply, makes 5, 10, 15, 20 yards, and then plays a poor pass out to the right-hand side, looking for Kwame Thomas, and Fylde picked it off, and Tommy Widgeon's out of his seat and gesticulating with his arms, and eventually takes his seat again and opens his bottle of water and has a swig and just cools himself down. But here's Fylde coming forward on the right hand side. There's a big shove from Josh Kay. Harfield takes it, recovers well, and then plays the ball back to Bycroft. Bycroft clips the ball forward. Whitmore should win that one in the air, and he finds Legenza. Shots get a touch on it, and it's half cleared. But Conlon, heavy work of the touch, and then a poor ball from Phyllis-Kirk drifts away. And Al, I don't want to say too much too soon because it is 0-0, but this Fylde side without Horton looks a little bit devoid of ideas at the minute.
Yeah,
and the shots have been able to get in quite frequently.
Thought they would be
sorry, I haven't finished.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me okay. But yeah, my question was going to be, it's a big opportunity for shots today, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. I just thought they'd be more of a threat going forward, but so far.
Here's Frost breaking forward. Heavy touch, but he's quick pace, gets onto it, steps back, comes back down the line to Aaron Jones. Jones to Glover. Glover rolls and comes across the other way, breaking towards the left side now. Finds Ollie Scott. He's going over an overlapping run from Harfield if he wants him. Into the left edge of the penalty area. Harfield picks it up, gets his cross in to the far post. Tolaj takes it down. Oh, his touch is a little bit extravagant. Shots had the bodies forward, and they can't find that final moment. There's a poor clearance from Fylde, picked up by Stokes. He can only touch it to Phyllis-Kirk. And Aldershot again, a lot of opportunities here, but not making the most of them clinically, as they did, to be fair, with their chances against Chesterfield last week. They scored 3 times out of about 6 or 7 chances. Today they're pushing on that already, but haven't been able to score. Here's a 1-2 with Fylde, and they may get in on the left-hand side. Legenza tries a shot. It's brilliantly parried by Bycroft and then cleared away by Glover to Ollie Scott. And Legenza with a first effort on target in the 35th minute for Fylde, Al.
Yeah, that was, he palmed it away, but luckily there was nobody to pick up the loose ball. But there's a warning to Aldershot. They've got to keep their concentration.
Okay, Fylde have got the ball back in their own penalty area. We've got an ever increasing shadow from the roof of the main stand here. It's now cutting almost a third of the way into the pitch from this side towards the far side. Those that have elected to watch from the far side, and there's not too many of them, probably only 150 or 200 Fylde fans on a covered standing terrace, obviously elected to choose a little bit of sunshine on their faces. Ball down the inside right channel is cut out by Harfield, but he can only put it behind for a corner. And the Fylde fans, if anything, probably be encouraged by the fact that they've still got a clean sheet at this stage, whereas they've only threatened rarely against Aldershot. They do now have a corner kick away to my right, which Whitehead will take. It's Oxford 1, Hartlepool 1. Corner's taken short, and Frost does really well. Plays it off of the Scott, sorry. He plays it off of the Fylde player, and that should be a goal kick to Aldershot. But the assistant referee's not realised what's happened, Alan. He's given another corner.
He didn't make any signal. It's left to the referee, and the referee signalled the corner.
More goals to tell you about in a minute, but Fylde have another corner. It's drilled across to the far post, headed back in from Whitmore, missed by Rowe. Kean Harries gets a foot on it, comes out. Another shot, that deflects behind and goes wide. And for all Aldershot's possession, territory, crosses and threat in and around the Fylde goal, it's Fylde now at 0-0, who are asking questions at the other end, and they'll have a third consecutive corner. Every Shots player is back to defend, including Tolaj and Kwame Thomas. There's cross coming into the far post. Again, Whitmore gets up, headed away by Glover. Picked up, Frost gets a foot in. Bit of a coming together. Glover comes away with the ball, holds it up, and now sends it out to the right-hand side, looking for Tolaj, but it's cut out very well by Conlon. Really strong tackle from Aaron Jones to win it. Finds Tolaj to the edge of the area. Can he get room for a shot? He just again, and Widdington's frustrated. He's trying to have too many touches. Ball's out wide to Aaron Jones. Cross comes in, cleared away by Phyllis-Kirk, only as far as Frost, who heads it straight away into the path of Aaron Jones. Jones skips inside his man, squares it to Glover. Glover to Ollie Scott. Ollie Scott has got the overlap from Harfield. Harfield, one touch. Cross, handball appealed for and given. Free kick just on the edge of the area from Phyllis-Kirk. Put his hand to the ball. I think he's clever enough to know he was just outside of his area, and the free kick is given to the Shots. So it's on the left side of the penalty area, about 6 or 7 yards kind of into it, but outside of it, if that makes sense. And it will either be a Glover right-footed, in fact it will be, I think, a Glover right-footed in swinger. Harfield not staying, unless Glover is going to tow it back to Harfield to have a left-footed shot. We are in the 39th minute. It's still 5-0 Shots nil. In comes the ball, and it smashes into the forehead of Tolaj, who didn't know a lot about it. It flies behind the goal, and it's a goal kick to Fylde. If you're judging performances, you'd be very pleased so far from an Aldershot point of view. And if you're judging the scoreline, Al, you'd be pretty frustrated. 0-0, 38.5
Yeah,
minutes.
we've played some nice football. Much better football than Fylde, but Fylde have had there's moments as well. So we just need to keep that concentration at the back and try and nick the goal at the other end.
Goal kick to be taken by Metcalf for Fylde. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2. Gateshead come to the EBB next week. York 1, Boreham Wood 0. York without a win so far, but Boreham Wood in pretty wretched form themselves. And Bromley 1, Maidenhead 0. Michael Cheek with the goal there for Bromley. Still goalless here at Mill Farm. 39 minutes in. Shots coming forward now. Good battle between Thomas and Whitmore. Thomas wins the header, gets a foot to the loose ball, but can only divert it into touch. And it is a moment for both sides just to catch their breath. And it's a relatively passive game, I would say, just at this point now.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas has certainly put himself about, and for that reason, it's encouraging.
Rowe chests the ball forward, cries of handball from Fylde. The ball breaks loose to Whitehead, who feeds Pierce Bird. Pierce Bird with an attempted cross, which is easy for Jack Bycroft to pluck out of the sky. I can see a scenario in both teams' body language where they'd be relatively happy to go in 0-0 at half-time because they've conceded so many goals between them. But it's Aldershot who've certainly had the better chance. Oh, it's a lovely one-touch from Tolaj into the path of Frost, who plays it into Kwame Thomas. He gets it under control nicely, back to goal, back to Frost. Frost inside the penalty area still, tries a clip cross in, that comes back to him. Now he'll send it back to Aaron Jones. Jones plays it off of Sharman. And Aldershot have to be content with just a throw. Again, they've got 4 bodies in the penalty area. And you just wanted to see a good, clear delivery there. Here's Cian Harries feeding Harfield on the left, inside to Stokes. Stokes has been dispossessed by Philliskirk. It's a brilliant turn by Ligenza. Comes away from 2 Aldershot Town players. Plays it into a channel on the right, which is easily read by Cian Harries. He was looking for Charman. Harfield with the ball forward. Whitmore can only flick it on towards Tolaj. Obi's up and wins the next one, and then Cian Harris onto the half volley, looking for Thomas on the right hand side. A really good header though from Pierce Bird. He finds Conlon. Conlon can only put it in touch, and the Shots will start again with a throw in on the right hand side, just inside their own half, and it remains 0-0. Alan.
Yeah, the back three have played well. Harfield has got forward well, but Harris has had a good game apart from that ambitious shot. He's looked composed and he's passed the ball well.
I should correct you on it. It's Harries, not Harris. But here's Tolaj on the right-hand side, getting towards the byline. Tries to drag the ball in. It's clear. It's blocked away. At times, Tolaj, you feel he's on the edge of doing something, but there are 3 or 4 other Aldershot players around him, and I think Widrington will be a bit frustrated that he hasn't found them. He's always trying to create the opening for himself, isn't he?
He's getting in some good positions, he's shown some good control. He just cannot find that little bit of space to get the shot off. I
think there's a lot more to come from him. We saw signs of it on the opening day of the season.
Yeah.
Here's Glover receiving the throw in and making his way down the right-hand side. Can he get across in? He can, he's done really well, but the keeper will jump and claim that rather easily. If he wasn't there, then Whitmore and Obi were. And Fylde looking to counter to the other end with Josh Kay, who feeds Ligenza. Heavy touch from Ligenza. And Ollie Scott, who's done pretty well on debut, comes away with the ball, feeds Harfield. Harfield just steps on it, goes back to Scott. Good first. It's a shove from Kay. Nothing given. The ball's into touch and a throw to Fylde again. And another poor ball from them. Harry sends it forward. Kwame Thomas, huge leap over Obi, but he can't send it anywhere dangerously. And it all goes back through to Metcalf. Of course, 42.5 minutes gone, Al, but we're going to have at least 4 or 5 added minutes, if not more. My guess is probably 5 or 6. Back here's Bycroft exchanging passes with Harry. Sorry, Al.
Yeah, I think with the injury to Phyllis Kirk and the normal delay in play, I think there'll be at least 5 minutes, yeah.
Oxford City 1, Hartlepool 2. Gateshead are now 3-0 up at Eastleigh. Bromley are 2-0 up against Maidenhead. And Josh Rees has scored for a second week running for Dagenham, who lead 1-0 at Chesterfield and are heading for a 4th National League win on the trot. Here's a ball up the middle, on the floor to Kwame Thomas. He holds it up, goes back to Harfield. Harfield to Harries. Harries tries a ball into space. Tolaj makes the run, just a little bit too much on it.
Yeah.
And Metcalf comes to the edge of his area to claim and feeds Whitmore. Aldershot look very comfortable in this game, and I'm fully aware that it's 0-0 and that can all change very quickly, but for a game a long way from home, away up north, they have plenty of the ball, and they see it again here as Rowe wins it, sends it out to the left looking for Tolaj. He skips, looks to skip past Whitmore, faces him up, goes again. Can he get a shot away left foot? He does, but it's blocked and cleared away by Whitmore. And then Scott plays it off Whitmore, and that'll drift away, and it might run out. Oh, he could have let it go out for the corner, Scott, but he keeps it in. Goes back to Glover. Glover to Tyler Frost. Frost back to Glover. Shots just keeping the possession here. And now they're spreading it over to the other side. I think the Fylde manager Adam Worry will want more from his side in the second half. Will he make some player changes or some tactical changes? We'll have to see. The shots have certainly looked the better of the two sides. And lost count of how many times I've said it now, but here's Harfield again. Ball on the floor this time for Tolaj. Pokes it first time out to Stokes. He's picked up a bit of space on the left channel. Now he finds Tolaj, who looks to pass his man. He exaggerates the contact, but there is contact. Free kick. Stokes wants to take it quickly from the wrong place, but somebody fancies it from a good 34, 35 yards here, just left of centre as we look at it. I think Tolaj might. He's got the strength of shot.
I think he will. I think he will. He's not lacking in confidence, Tolaj, is he? 4 minutes at a time.
Well, I think the referee might have to be on a pretty prompt train after the game as well, because there was at least 4 minutes just for that one stoppage in play, and that's all that's been given. I'm not going to argue with it. So we're into that 4 added minutes now, but Shots have a free kick. It's 35 yards out. Tolaj shoots, strikes it well, but it's always going over. And it's a 6th effort for the Shots of the afternoon. 3 on target, 3 off. And it remains 0-0.
Yeah, it was always going to be his free kick, wasn't it? And he's had an up and down game. He's showed some nice touches and created a little bit of space, but he's not really capitalised on it.
Yeah, exactly that. You just feel you're on the edge of something all the time with Tolaj. There's a ball forward, which Harfield does well to watch the bounce carefully, hooks it over his head. Kay sends it back in. O'Kane heads it on. Legenza picks it up, and Glover does really well to get some contact on it back to Harfield. Whitmore heads it into the feet of Phyllis Kirk, who gets a little shove in the back, and Stokes almost wins it. Referee thinks twice about giving a foul and does give it. Glover just gets to his feet, just making sure that he's okay. Widrington not too happy, asking the ref a question politely. And Whitmore will take the free kick 15 yards inside his own half, right by the touchline. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 0. And we're almost halfway through a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of the first half. Here's Whitmore with the ball forward. Flicked on into the path of Harries. Harries clears only as far as Conlon. Conlon looks to get a cross in. That's headed away by Glover. A good battle from Harries. He does really well, makes good contact, clears it up towards halfway. It'll bounce once and into touch. Kwame Thomas just a little shove into the back of Pierce Bird. Throw into Fylde 10-15 yards inside their own half on the left hand side, and we're into the final minute of the minimum of 4 to be added on. Michael Cheek has got that second goal for Bromley this afternoon. And we've got an Aldershot Town player down now. It's Harry's. I think he'll be okay. He's just sitting up. And he is okay.
Yeah, he's just heading that ball clear and he got caught late. So it's a free kick just outside our box.
That's Alan Baldwin. I'm Rob Warren. You listen to BBC Radio Surrey. It might be advertised as Sussex on the BBC website. As most of you listeners will know, BBC Surrey and Sussex work closely together. They've got a joint programme this afternoon. Flick on from Aldershot. Picked up by Thomas on the right hand side, looking for Stokes. Stokes skips past one, gets to the byline. Does he manage to keep the ball in? He does, but Fylde have got it again with Obi. Obi takes on his man. Aaron Jones puts his hands on his back. Obi goes down, and it's a free kick to Fylde in the left back position, almost level with the edge of their own penalty area. What's noticeable to me is the crowd here is quite passive as well.
It is.
I would expect them to be quite unhappy with not necessarily the scoreline, but the way that the domination of territory and chances has come in. But there doesn't seem to be any passionate.
No,
they seem to be quite patient.
All the home supporters are scattered around the stadium. They're not located in one particular place. So
cross in from the left from Fylde is headed up in the air by Harfield. O'Kane will just shepherd it out. There is the final action of the first half, which ends 0-0. I'm not sure of the stats in front of me, but there won't be too many games that these sides have gone in 0-0 at half time. I know last week ended 3-4 at Aldershot, was 1-1 at half time. But here with his summing up of the first half at Mill Farm is my guest summariser, Alan Baldwin.
Well, being completely impartial, Aldershot have played a better football but lacked the finishing touch. Fylde have threatened on 2 or 3 occasions without actually playing very well, but I've been very happy with the performance by Aldershot in the first half. Tommy Widdrington is again having a conflab before he goes into the dressing room. I think he will be saying more of the same, but let's get that ball, the finishing touch into it.
Yeah, I mean, look, without putting too fine a point on it, Aldershot should be a couple of goals up here. And they're not, but it's a pleasing performance, if nothing else. Hello to my brother Patrick Worrell, who doesn't listen in too often, but he is listening in from the Gulf of Finland in the Baltic Sea. He's on a trip, a long weekend in Estonia, but he's got a cruise ferry over to Helsinki for the day. So far, Patrick, it's going better for the Shots than it has on any of their previous visits. It does remain 0-0. We're going to do a half-time report to radio shortly, and just before we do that, Al, no real need for Aldershot to make any changes at half-time.
No, to be honest, the back three, which did give me a little bit of a worry, have played very well. Harfield has still got forward and produced some good play. Harry's has been probably the best performance I've seen him from this season. Kobe Rowe has looked a bit of uncertain, but fortunately not resulted in anything dangerous. In midfield, Frost has been quiet, but Glover's been very busy, as you would expect. I'm very impressed with Ollie Scott on the left flank. He's got forward well and he's got some space, and I think that was very encouraging.
Yeah, he's used the ball really well, Ollie Scott. I think he is diminutive, and a couple of times he's been buffeted, and the officials are not giving those charges. In fairness, there was a huge one from Harfield that wasn't given either, so the referee's been consistent. And the referee on his debut has had a pretty consistent first half, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And also from an Aldershot perspective, Tolaj has been very involved. It's just feel that it's just not coming off what he's trying to do. He's trying to find that little bit of space to fire off a shot. It's just not happening for him at the moment. Josh Stokes has had some good moments, but generally pretty quiet. And Kwame Thomas has been very active. He's put himself about, and again, probably his best performance in the shot shirt for me.
Yeah. I have to say again, I think Glover and Frost have belied. You worry a little bit in this league. There's some very strong midfields And do you know what? Given up there against Phyllis and Whitehead, you don't get two more experienced centre midfielders than that. I think they've done extremely well. You mentioned Glover's been busy. I think Glover's perhaps caught the eye more because he's been playing more our side. Frost has been busy as well. He's burst into, he's cut a couple of balls out and he's burst into space quite well. He has to pick his moments. He's having to play a more disciplined role than he really wants to, Frost. But he's playing, he's showing good intelligence. He's growing into the role.
Yeah, and I think coming back to Frost and Glover as a midfield duo, they've got the pace, haven't they? And I think Phyllis and Whitehead have not quite got on top of them, and I think they've enjoyed the space that they've got on this left-hand flank and also on the right-hand for Frost. So that's encouraging. I hope they can continue in that vein.
Okay, that's it from me now for the first half. Going to do an update to radio in a moment or two. Alan, I'll be back with you in whatever's left of half time. It's 4-0 to Gateshead at Eastleigh. When they get it right, don't they, Gateshead? And they're so difficult to play against.
Yeah, they're a good side. I said that last season when I did the commentary for the home game. It could have been 5-2, not 3-2. And I expected them to make a strong challenge. Especially as they've strengthened the squad with, you might not agree, but Regan Booty as a good playmaker. And one or two others they've strengthened. I think they've lost Adam Campbell, didn't they?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
He's gone to Crawley.
Crawley, yeah.
They currently got today, because obviously we've been hearing it in our ears from Crawley. They've got, he's up front with Danilo Orsi-Dodoma. Yeah. Any second now, yeah, go on, make it a quick one. Sorry? Right. Just a couple of Shots fans who support Motherwell as well, I think. As far as I know. Yeah, there's a guy called Lee and another guy called Aberdeen Shot. Yeah, I believe they support Motherwell and Aldershot. Yeah, that's it, I think. I don't know of any other connections. All right, mate. Yeah, for those interested, Fylde fan was just asking me about a flag away to our right, Lanarkshire. It's a half and half flag, if you like, which is half Motherwell and half Aldershot. I was chatting with Lee on the way in, actually.
What's his surname?
It's a long surname with 3 or 4 syllables, and I can't remember it. But his name's Lee, and he comes from Scotland. And I don't think Aberdeen. I think he said to me Aberdeen Shots here today.
No, we're near Motherwell, Aberdeen, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm just going to do the half-time report now. 1 second. Then we'll continue our chat off air that the listeners can listen to. Oh, it's been lively, but strange, I guess, really, for both sets of fans. Both sides will be probably relatively happy to go in at the break 0-0 because they've conceded so many goals this season. It's not been a game without chances. In truth, Aldershot have had 6 or 7 half chances, but oh, how dearly they'd swap them for 1 goal right now. Fired at a succession of corners in the middle of the half, and the Genza looks a little bit dangerous. He got a powerful shot away that was well saved by Bycroft, but that's pretty much it from the home side. I don't know whether it's the heat, but not too much passion from the home crowd. They seem to be very accepting of it. The shots have definitely dominated the first half. I won't run through all the chances, but Tolaj has been at the heart of it. Frost and Glover very lively in midfield, and Aldershot are getting in far more frequently than Fylde would want, but most notably they haven't been able to score. And at half time here at Mill Farm, it's AFC Fylde 0, Shots 0. Sorry, Al, you were saying?
7-3 shots.
Yeah.
Attempts, is that what you got?
Total attempts, yeah. Can I talk to you off? The main time that I want to come to is after a chance has happened.
Yeah.
And we're getting a delay because you're making the notes.
Okay.
Okay. If you could answer it first and then make the note, that would flow better.
All right.
I know you're just putting the detail down, but that's nearly always been the moment when I want to come to you. So.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, all good as always. We only always want to make it better if we can. So it flows better. But yeah, you've got 7 down over here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made a note of 6 and 2, but I'm conscious there's 1 or 2 I didn't. But best chance, Krylakov maybe. You got a little bit of clout on it, didn't it? And
yeah, the others have been easy. I think that the 7 wasn't less than easy.
do you remember in pre-season, he fielded 3 at the back a lot, but often it was unrecognised players. Sometimes it was Aaron Jones, sometimes it was someone else. And ironically, when he went with unorthodox back 3s, they kept a few clean sheets. It's odd, isn't it? You know.
Perhaps that's because the opposition weren't expecting it.
We've managed to get Rowe, Harries and Minoga out, all 3 of them, too many times yet this season, have they? Maybe once or twice.
No, and obviously the early injury to Bagoma put a scupper on the formation, didn't it? I mean, Harry, is a left-footed player, so you would think he would revert back to the left-sided defender when Minoga comes back. But he's looked comfortable today.
Yeah. Just one for the little half-time chit-chat, really. I'll probably mention it again in the second half, but it's notable today that, probably due to lack of availability of other players, I don't know, but Aldershot have named a substitute goalkeeper in Finley Weston. I hadn't realised before this moment that he was actually on the team sheet, but I'm just watching him out there at half-time, realised he's one of the 5. Ochieng is on the bench for those Ochieng washers who wonder what he's got to do to get a game. Ethan Burnett, Max Mullins and Tommy Willard, the substitutes. So it's a very, very strong bench for AFC Fylde. And I would have thought, if anything, Al, of the 2 managers, Adam Murray is the one who might be sorely tempted to bring on one of his players at half-time. And I would have thought the overwhelming likelihood is that it would be for Nick Horton. Maybe Horton, possibly for O'Kane, or they might have a shuffle round.
Well, he's got in Legenza.
Talk into the microphone if you like, otherwise the listeners are only hearing my half of the conversation.
Oh, is he on there, are we?
Oh yeah, I'm on air. I said it was a little bit of a half-time chit-chat, yeah.
Okay.
He comes out, coming back on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, from the AFC point of view, they've got Sia Legenza and Taylor O'Kane, who are fairly inexperienced at this level. So
if they were replaced by the likes of Omateo and Horton, it could be a very different second half, couldn't it?
Yeah, I honestly think Philiskirk won't last the 90 minutes either. Looks as if he's a little bit off the pace to me. So I think probably they'd probably make all 3 subs within an hour, I think.
Yeah, you have to be encouraged by the Shot's performance. But I do wonder if they've missed a huge opportunity to get ahead in this game in the first half.
Yeah.
Because of the quality Fylde have got on the bench.
Yeah, I agree.
Personally, I would be surprised if Horton doesn't come on at half-time. I'd be shocked if he's not within the first 10 minutes, unless he's carrying a little knock, of course.
Well, I'm shocked he wasn't in the starting lineup. I mean, he's got 80 goals in something like 180 appearances. He's been by far and away AFC Fylde's most consistent player and goal scorer in the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm really surprised he didn't start. So he must be carrying a little bit of an injury, I think.
That's Alan Baldwin, I'm Rob Warren, and we're only having a half-time chit-chat. Teams are off the pitch at the minute, just the substitutes on for their warm-up. Few games have had quite a bit of added time. York City 1, Boreham Wood 0. Has only just gone to half-time there, just a minute or two ago. It's Deepo Akinyemi who's got the goal in the 21st minute there.
To look at the Aldershot perspective, the bench is not really strong, is it?
Not at all, no.
So I don't think Tommy Widrington will be making any early changes. If there's an injury, fine. Probably Burnett and Ochieng coming on late in the day, just to relieve the tiredness in the ranks, but there's no obvious substitutions on that bench, is there?
Certainly not. I don't think there's too many where Aldershot can make a change and be stronger anyway, that's for sure, whereas Fylde most definitely can.
Anyway, you never know in this game. We've been wrong before.
Yeah, you never know. Aldershot far and away the better side in the first half. 6 half chances noted on my pad, 7 on Al's, and only 1 really from me for the home side. Al's got 2 or 3 down, so you know it's not been a game littered with clear-cut chances. They've all been half chances or 3/4 chances at best, haven't they, Al?
Yeah, and ask the question of you, and I'll give my answer in a minute. Would you take a draw at this point?
At this point, it would feel slightly frustrating for Aldershot to draw today because it's a huge opportunity to get 3 points. But knowing the talent that Fylde have got on the bench and what could happen in the second half is very, very difficult as Mateo comes back in from his warm-up. Aldershot don't have a single point on the road yet so far this season, and they've never picked up a point here at Fylde. So if you take those 2 facts plus the quality on the Fylde bench, I probably would reluctantly just accept it.
And the injury situation. I mean, Fylde are virtually at full strength. We're lacking, 4 or 5 players who would be normally in the starting lineup. Manogna, Magoma, arguably Widrington and O'Keefe. So we are a little bit short of numbers, aren't we?
We are indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 outfield players for Fylde. So no sign at the moment then of Nick Horton or Goldo Mateo coming on. Can Aldershot begin the second half as well as they played in the first and go and get that first goal? They certainly would be deserving of it, but they've got it all to do still.
Yeah. I forgot to mention Jack Barham out also. I mean, he would provide that extra dimension, wouldn't he?
Certainly would be a good option to have here today, and we hope to see Jack Barham back in the red and blue of Aldershot Town very soon. So 0-0 here at half-time. You're listening to BBC Radio Surrey Sport or the BBC Sport app. The teams are out for the second half. Referee Michael Crusham on his National League debut is about to get us back underway for the second half. 0-0. Aldershot in red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks. Fylde in all white. And I'll give you the lineups in just a moment. Ball's headed away from Whitmore and towed on and held up by Ligenza, who turns away from Harries. He's down by the right touchline. And he rides a challenge from Harries. Free kick given away. And another little sort of clumsy moment from Harries. I want to give the guy lots of credit. He does a lot of good things right. He had a good first half. But just a silly, unnecessary foul.
Yeah, he just seems a little bit too casual at times, doesn't he? But he's definitely got ability. There's no question.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So free kick over on the right-hand side to Fylde. We are still towards the end of the first minute of the second half. In it comes from Whiteshead to the far post. Oh, great jump from Bycroft. He leaps and clutches it out of the air and falls to the ground, and that's good to see. He's
very confident.
Not as tall as Geordie, but he bowls it out to Lauren Tullage, who comes up towards halfway and now plays the ball back to Aaron Jones. Jones is going to go back to Rowe. Rowe's going to be shut down now by Sharman. Tollard still deep, gets involved and spreads it out to the left to here, Harries. Harries with an arrowed ball out to the left-hand side, and if Ollie Scott can keep that in, it'll be a beautiful ball. It is. He's kept it in, he's faked the cross, overstepped the ball, gone back to Harfield. Harfield now with the cross, going to be headed away by Obi, but only as far as Aaron Jones. Jones inside to Frost, not the best touch from Frost, he didn't quite know what was on. Whitehead gets it now, Rowe goes in with a challenge. It'll be a free kick, it might well be a yellow as well. The yellow card is out. Kobe Rowe for the shots, and he can have no complaints, Al.
No, it's a poor touch by Frost initially, and Kobe Rowe committed himself to the challenge on halfway, and in this climate, that's a yellow every day.
Yeah, I think so. The ref's kept his cards in his pocket until now, and that one deemed a little bit cynical. And definitely worthy of a yellow for Kobe Rowe, who won't thank Tyler Frost for his touch there. Clipped ball over the top into the left channel for Fylde, headed back inside by Conlon, headed away by Rowe, and then headed straight into touch by Danny Whitehead for Aldershot's throw in. Surely won't be too long, even though there's no kind of feisty atmosphere in the ground. Maybe it's because Fylde have come up a league and the fans are a little bit more patient at the start of the season. But
well, you've got to remember they were in the Northern Premier League about 5 or 6 years ago, so they've not got a strong fan base, have they?
Thrown to Aldershot on halfway.
I was watching them when they were Kirkham and Weston.
Yeah, when the first year I came up to Fylde and I drove, I didn't realise I'd put the old ground into Google Maps, and I was in plenty of good time, but ended up driving to the old ground. So had a little look round, took a few photos, pretended I'd done it on purpose, and then promptly drove to Mill Farm. Here's the shots on the left-hand side, giving it away to young Taylor O'Kane, and then there's a little bit of a double ricochet. The ball ends up back in touch, and it will be a throw-in to Fylde. And now the nod from Adam Murray to one of his substitutes, who I can't see. I'd be shocked if it wasn't Horton. Here's Ligenza. Rowe plays it back to Jack Bycroft. He kicks towards halfway, and Kwame Thomas is being pulled to the ground, nothing given. Adam Murray claiming he wants a foul, and then Jones leaves Conlon on the floor. And strength from Kobe Rowe, and a long diagonal ball out to the left, which I think Whitmore should be able to deal with. He cushions the header back to Metcalf. Adam Murray asked the fourth official why a foul wasn't given for his player. And there's another petty foul from Rowe. He needs to be a little bit careful. He's on a yellow card. Just a clumsy one into the back of the striker, but he's got to apply himself with discipline for the rest of the game, Al, on that yellow card.
The striker knew what he was, Ligenza knew what he was doing there.
Quick ball over the top, and Sharman's there, and he gets his shot away. Tried the lob. Bycroft had committed himself, and he made the save.
Yeah,
and he's bowled it straight out to Glover.
And we're going to do. He found the space, isn't it?
Yeah, here's Frost breaking forward onto the right-hand side, strokes the ball into Aaron Jones. Jones with a cross into the far post, headed away by Whitmore, picked up by Josh Kay, clears it forward down the line to Sharman. Sharman's got Harfield in the back of him. Glover goes to ground, very brave challenge. 50-50, breaks away. Glover just struggling to get to his feet. He's okay. Ligenza does a full 360 and eventually comes away with the ball. O'Kane and Fylde might be in here on the left-hand side. Conlon looks to square it. It's well blocked by Cian Harris. He's done well there. Aldershot were just maybe a man down as Fylde build that attack.
Yep.
And they've done well to turn a good attacking opportunity for Fylde into a throw-in.
Yeah, Fylde have come a little bit strong in this first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, and Aldershot need to get back on the ball.
Obi and Whitmore are going up for this throw, which Pierce Bird is going to take. We're in the 52nd minute now. 51 are just up. In comes the throw, headed away by Aaron Jones. Only as far as Kay. Kay's going to send it back into the area. Headed away by Cian Harris. And onto the ball is Glover, who has a heavy touch. It's going to go straight into touch. and Woodington flings his arms out to the side and shakes his head and sits down again, as he always expects more. And the first substitution for Fylde is not going to be Nick Horton coming on. It's not going to be Gold or Mateo coming on. Who is it, Al?
Barrett.
Connor Barrett. And it's Josh Kay who's coming off. Connor Barrett who's coming on. And the first substitution in just the 52nd minute for the home side. So
he's opted for a more defensive midfielder, I would have thought, than Horton and Mateo. So that was a bit of a surprise. We didn't expect that.
Ball from Glover inside to Stokes. Lauren Tullage is battling away with Amika Obi, who just puts it into touch, takes no chances. Tullage fetches the ball. He doesn't really want to take the throw in, but he will if necessary. And eventually he leaves it for Ollie Scott, who was Alsad's quiet and solid debut in the left wing back position today. Ollie Harfield playing as the left centre back. Don't think I did read the side out for shots. It's Bycroft in goal, Harries, Rowe and Harfield the back three, Scott the left wing back, Aaron Jones the right wing back, Glover and Frost in midfield behind Stokes, who's playing behind Thomas and Tollage. Jack Barham didn't make the trip. Slight knock we hear. Ball's in touch for a throw into Aldershot. Away to our right, an attacking throw in. Scott plays the ball forward. Stokes runs onto it. It's just maybe being impeded by Whitmore a little bit subtly. The ball goes through anyway to Max Metcalf, who's been brought into the Fylde goal today after Theo Richardson's conceded 19 goals in 7 games, and so far he's kept a clean sheet, as to this point has Jack Bycroft. Aaron Jones with a firm challenge finds the ball deflects into Glover. Glover sends it out to the right hand side where it's just behind Kwame Thomas, and Thomas can't keep it in play. Rowe jumps unopposed, wins the header and heads it straight to Danny Whitehead. O'Kane inside to Conlon. Conlon out left to Luke Sharman on the left wing. Plays a ball inside, touched by Philliskirk into the path of Whitehead. Whitehead spreads it further right to Philliskirk, who's going to give it back to him now. The two Dannys combining. And then a poor pass, and the ball's snaffled by Harfield to Stokes, who keeps picking up the ball in a sort of very deep left of midfield position at times. He's not been able to receive it too much in the number 10 position, has he? I know he's playing a little bit.
I like to see him in those threatening positions, but he's not had many opportunities there, has he?
Here's Bird over halfway. Got Thomas for company. Rowe dives in, can't win it. Ligenza back onto his right foot, tries a shot. It's low, and it's gathered by Jack Bycroft. And
good play by Fylde there. Came forward for Peace Bird, and then he fed in Ligenza, who just. It was a bit of tame effort, easy for Bycroft. But
those sort of shots can easily take a little deflection and deceive the goalkeeper. Thankfully for Jack Bycroft, it didn't. It's Bromley 4, Maidenhead United 0. And Aldershot again can't hold the ball up top. And Fylde, having been definitely the second best of the two sides in the first half, I would suggest 10 minutes into the second half have been the better side in the first 10 minutes, Al.
I agree with that. Aldershot need to get their focus back and get their passing together. They've not really strung anything together this half. Louis Dennis now on the score sheet for Bromley with that 4th goal. A couple already today for Michael Cheek. Throw into Aldershot taken by Rowe, flicked on by Tollage. Yeah, as the game's gone on, Josh Stokes has been less and less of a focal point for shots. He's trying to find space out there, but I think there's Harfield going straight past O'Kane into a big pocket of space over halfway, still going forward, clips the ball to the far post. Thomas can't get onto it, but Aaron Jones might do. Jones now inside to Thomas. Thomas back to Frost. Frost back to Aaron Jones, who gives it back to him again. Inside now to Glover. Glover to Frost, and Frost. Aldershot finding the extra man well. Here's a ball in from Harries to Stokes. Heads back across goal, headed up in the air by Amika Obi. Lauren Tullage touches it out to the right hand side to Stokes. Inside to Frost. Give it back to Jones. And then Frost. Frost going down the right side. Can he get across in?
He lifts it to the far post. It's out of play behind the goal. And another frustrating end to a really promising attacking move from the Shots. Al, 0-0.
Yeah, that was good. They kept possession. They passed the ball well. They found their men, and then disappointingly, Tyler Frost from wide on the right just overhit his cross.
And here's the worrying substitution that we've talked about. Nick Horton is coming on in just the 57th minute. And will this prove Aldershot's profligacy and those 6 or 7 chances in the first half? Will they end up paying for it? With the quality of Nick Horton coming on now and Golden Mateo to come on at some point. Here's Aaron Jones trying to play the ball forward. It's cut out by Conlon, who does well, and comes back to Jones, who plays it back to Jack Bycroft. So a pretty decent 57 minutes for the Shots. Made a couple of good saves, ones you'd expect him to make, but done everything well. Here's Tolaj turning one way then the other, and he leaves Whitmore for dead. Plays it through the middle to Stokes now, and a good foot in from Obi. Pushes it away from Stokes just after he thought he might have a chance inside the penalty area. It'll be a throw into Aldershot, and the referee says no, do that first. The substitution will come later.
Good play by Harris into Tolaj. He turned brilliantly, found the space, and he's put in Stokes, but Stokes just didn't.
Tolaj on the edge of the penalty area. He'll come back to Jones, will he? No, he does find Jones. Jones then to Tolaj. Ball inside to Frost. Frost squares it again. Can Tolaj get a shot away? What a brilliant challenge on the edge of his own area by Taylor O'Kane, just as Tolaj was about to pull the trigger. That was brilliant. O'Kane's back onto the ball now, holding it up. Frost has managed to nudge it away from him. The loose ball's picked up by Charman. Still Nick Horton waits to come on, and Fylde pick the ball up inside their own half with Whitmore. He goes through Obi, and Obi to Pierce Bird. Up to Ligenza. A good exchange from Fylde, poking the ball into Sharman, who's on this left side. Ball into Legenda. Bycroft comes out well, snaffles it at the second attempt. 50-50, but Bycroft did well. Came off his line as you wanted him to. Yes, there would be plaudits for a first clean sheet of the season, a first away point of the season, but this is a huge opportunity for Aldershot to win a game, as Woking have equalised against Solihull. And they haven't really been able to make clear-cut chances in the second half. Harry's ball forward is between Scott and Stokes and goes straight into touch. And now we will see Nick Horton. He'll come a straight swap for the youngster Taylor O'Kane, as I suspected, because Horton isn't an out-and-out forward and he isn't a central midfield player, and so he replaces the youngster. But he gets generous applause, but the Fylde fans will feel, as we approach the hour mark, Al, that with Horton coming on into proceedings, that Fylde can go on and win this.
Yeah, it's they've had a better second half, Fylde, that's for sure. But Aldershot still had opportunities. They've just got to find that finishing ball, haven't they?
Second prize number 327.
Shots coming forward now on the left-hand side. Scott involved, Stokes involved. The ball breaks loose. Glover's got it. Sends it out to Aaron Jones on the right-hand side, and he finds Tolaj. Tolaj with the ball down the line. Frost again, the willing runner, moves into space. The ball's played off of Obi behind for a corner, and Aldershot haven't had too many this afternoon. It might even be their first.
That's their first. Yeah.
And Fylde, of course, had a run of them. Mateo's just finished a warm-up, and wow, we're in the 61st minute. Aldershot Town still 0-0 here at Fylde. Performance-wise, it's been good. They've nothing to show for it in terms of goals. Surely this game between the two most porous defences in the National League coming in today is not going to end goalless. Glover with a corner to the far post, over everybody, but it's picked up by Kean Harries. He will send it back in to the penalty area, try to, but it's cut out by a Fylde player, and Horton's quickly onto it. Twists, turns, plays it into the path of Sharman, who begins a run forward. Is he taken out? No, says the referee on this occasion, as Conlon throws himself to the ground. Aldershot keep possession, and Stokes picks it up, skips inside, and he is caught, and that will probably be a second yellow of the afternoon, will it, for Alex Whitmore? The referee's thinking about it. No, he's just going to give a free kick there. I thought that was probably just as... Yeah, there comes the yellow.
Oh, right.
And, well, I don't know if the yellow's shown to Sharman for dissent, actually. The referees won't tolerate dissent. And really, it was a silly one to moan about from Sharman because it was an obvious clip on Stokes. And Aldershot have the free kick. 61.5 minutes gone. It's goalless. And Harfield is going to send this one from deep. Rowe is up there. Thomas is up there. High defensive line from Fylde. In it comes from Harfield. Headed away by Whitmore. Glover onto it. Looks to go one way. Plays it inside to Frost, who receives it with his back to goal, but Horton does well to win it. Ball back inside his play forward, cut out well by Frost, cleared up into the air by Fylde, and Cian Harries dips underneath Sharman, and Harfield will go all the way back to his goalkeeper Bycroft. And we have 28 minutes plus whatever's added on here. Ball forwards, one in the air by Whitmore, who jumps ahead of Thomas, cleared forward again by Whitmore, and Rowe will compete for the ball here with Bycroft. Offsides given anyway. And shaking of heads from the Aldershot Town management team.
Well, the assistant referee waits until the...
Waited so long, but we all know that's the rules. Yeah. As frustrating as it is, it's always going to be a delayed one. So we're getting radio updates from the other games. Woking a level with Solihull Moors at the moment. And we'll get a Dorking update and then they'll come to me. 63 minutes are gone now. Is Harfield with a raking crossfield diagonal ball out to the right hand side. Good jump from Aaron Jones. Ball comes off his head and into touch. And it'll be a throw in to AFC Fylde. Halfway inside their own half on the left hand side. Up to Horton, a little back heel around the corner. Ball's taken by Ligenza, who plays it forward, and Horton's run onto the loose ball. Drags it towards the byline, tries a clip cross in over everybody. And Ollie Scott back there takes no chances, clears it behind for a corner. And there's renewed optimism in the mood of the home faithful. Goalless, but 27 minutes left. Nick Horton into the fray, and he's going to come across now to take this corner for AFC Fylde.
He certainly added a bit of a spark to the Fylde side, and he found a good position on the left there, good cross, and Scott had to put it out for a corner. So we've got to get him closely marked because he looks a threat.
Horton then with a corner for Fylde, low, headed up in the air by Kwame Thomas. I think he'll try and head it again, and he does. Clears his lines. It may drift towards touch, or it might just be kept in by Fylde, and they go all the way back to Conlon. And Aldershot look to regroup. Fylde playing the ball around their own back three at the moment. And Obi will go all the way back to Metcalfe. It's Oxford City 2, Hartlepool 2. Oxford City finding their feet in the National League in the last 2 or 3 games. Here's Conlon clipping the ball over the top. Flicked on by Ligenza, but it'll run all the way through to Jack Bycroft. Yeah, amazingly it is. Fylde have been the better of the two sides in the second half, and they've now brought Nick Horton off the bench, who's clearly their most classiest player. They've yet to reach for Golda Mateo, who was a Kings Lynn striker for Tommy Widrington last season. Shots haven't been anywhere near as good in the second half, and Fylde are gradually getting on top in this one. And Aldershot may regret not taking one of those 6 or 7 half chances in the first half. We are now 65 minutes in, and it remains AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 0. Here's Sharman on the right hand side up against Ollie Harfield. He plays the ball back to the number 17 Connor Barrett, gets down the right hand side, squares it across. It's cleared away by Cian Harries, who plays it forward to Tolaj, and he tries an early ball into a space where Thomas is holding it up. Whitmore outwits him or outmuscles him. Good header down from Ollie Scott. Frost comes away with the ball. He's clipped down, and a free kick is given for Aldershot on halfway. And after that, Thomas is caught on his ankle. The referee had already blown for the first free kick, but meanwhile Thomas is on the ground, and it's one of those days, Al, where Aldershot don't really want a forward going off. No,
we've got Tommy Willard, of course.
Of course, sorry, my mistake.
But yeah, we're still a bit thin on the ground, aren't we? Yeah, halfway, it was a good play by Tolaj. So
Free kick taken short to Harfield, who plays it out to Ollie Scott on the left-hand side. Oxford City have now dared to take the lead against Hartlepool. And their brand of total football is having another good day down at Oxford City. Here's Bycroft kicking straight down the middle, and Obi will let it run, and it'll go all the way through to Metcalf. Nice and easy bit of defending there for the home side. Eventually Metcalf rolls it out to Obi, and Fylde will try and play out from the back. Drill ball into the left channel, and Ligenza will run onto it, and Harries goes to ground, clears it into touch. Horton is on the inside, is now getting picked up by Tyler Frost. I was going to say he wasn't even being picked up. Will Tommy Willard be called into the fray soon? Here's Frost picking up a loose ball, coming away with the ball, breaking forward. He's got Josh Stokes out to the left, threads it out to the right to Tollard. He'll want to come in and shoot with his left foot. He does. There's a slight deflection on it. It's saved away to his left comfortably in the end by Metcalf, but another effort on goal for the Shots, their first of the second half. Al.
Yeah, Tyler Frost picked that ball deep in his own half and ran at least 40 yards, fed Frost, Tollard, who cut in on his left foot, favoured left foot, but his shot was an easy one for the Metcalf.
We're in the 68th minute, good headed winner from Ollie Harfield, and Stokes holds the ball up and wins it, and a shielded wall pass from Kwame Thomas. He carries on with it. Stokes tries the ball in with the outside of his right foot, and that's going to go straight through to Metcalf. A rare moment for Stokes. Boreham would have equalised against York City. Wealdstone are 1-0 up against Ebbsfleet, and I'm hearing that although it's 0-0 between Oldham and Dorking, manager Mark White, who's only just back from a touchline ban, has been sent off again. Fylde are going to make a third substitute. No prizes for guessing who it's going to be. Gold on Mateo, and the script is written for him. Here's Kwame Thomas holding the ball up. He's got a run from Glover on the left-hand side. He's into the penalty area. Jinks one way, then the other. Can he get the ball in?
Yeah.
Yes, he can, and he can finish, and the Shots have got the first goal of the afternoon, just when you thought the chances might be drying up. Great little bit of interplay from Shots on the inside left channel, and Glover scores inside the post. Metcalf beaten, 69th minute, AFC Fylde 0, Shots 1.
Good play by Thomas. He held the ball up well, fed Glover. Glover on the left hand side of the penalty area looked like he had nowhere to go, but he placed it right in the far corner. A good finish by Ryan Glover.
You know, as he prodded it across, I wondered if it was a cross. And I don't take nothing away from Ryan Glover, by the way. He's had a fabulous game in midfield. He's been a bundle of energy. He's done an awful lot right. Perhaps we'll ask him afterwards. I don't think he or any of us will care whether it was. I mean, they do say when you get shot, shoot across goal, and if it doesn't go in, it might deflect in, it might come out to someone else. But he found the corner.
Yeah, it wasn't a powerful shot. It was placed, really, if it was placed, and I think it was. But we're asking him afterwards.
Right. Well, Aldershot have got the first goal, and certainly there were long periods in the first half where it looked like it might come. It possibly has come at a time when you didn't think it would, but it doesn't matter when it comes. They now have another job, and that is to try and keep Fylde out for as long as possible. Ball chested inside to Horton, edge of the penalty area, twists, turns, tries to get room for a shot, shoots, and it's saved by Bycroft. And regular listeners will know, and I can't not mention this, but Aldershot have a habit of conceding very quickly after they've scored within the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
well, if they can just go 20 plus whatever's added, then they'll leave here with 3 points, and it's easier said than done, Al, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Horton's already shown his class, hasn't he? He's got that ability to turn and twist, and we've got to watch him closely.
Gateshead a 5-0 at Eastleigh. Ebbsfleet 1, Wealdstone 1, Ebbsfleet 1. Here at Mill Farm, the Shots have a precious lead. Harries intercepts an intended pass from a tired-looking Ligenza, who I suspect his afternoon's just about done. Are Fylde now going to make their third and final substitution? I think the referee's blown up for a water break anyway. And we are in the 71st minute. And, well, the Shots have a precious lead here at Mill Farm. I don't think they've ever led here, and we said before they've never taken even a point away from here.
No,
before,
and to be honest, on the first half performance and patches of the second half, they deserved the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, overall on the game, they're worthy of it. I think it's just probably come at a time when you suspected it might not come, didn't you?
Yeah, and full credit to Thomas. He's had a lot of criticism over the last few weeks, but he played a major part in that. He fed Glover. Glover finished it well, but Brown was the one who instigated that in the first place.
Even the referees and assistants taking their drinks break here.
Tolad's changing his boots from a bright yellow to a bright green.
Yeah, I think it
Nothing
might
wrong
be
with
that
the boots,
it might well be that the pitch has dried out more now. It was heavily watered before the game. Barnet are 2-0 up against Altrincham.
Oh, Matego's coming on.
Yeah, Mateo's been waiting to come on for 5 minutes, Al. I would imagine that it'll be a straight swap for Legenza. Depends how keen the Fylde manager is to get back in it.
I think it'd be no, it's not going to be Sharman. I thought Sharman's been fairly quiet, and Legenza's been fairly active. So
yeah.
Who do you think's going to come up? Midfield player?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. My guess is Legenza, but we'll see. Wealdstone 1, Ebbsfleet 1. Josh Wright with a goal.
He's put his top back on.
Yeah, Chesterfield 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. So Chesterfield getting back level there, and Oxford City 4, Hartlepool 2. We weren't sure on that opening day of the season when the Shots won 5-2. It was easy narrative, wasn't it, to say, Oxford City will struggle, they'll go down, but they're in pretty decent form at the minute.
Yeah, to be honest, I was impressed with them on that first day. They passed the ball well. They just didn't have an end product, and also they conceded. We were good on that day from chances created and goals scored. So I thought Oxford would get better.
Right, that's the drinks break over with. No, you're not listening to the test match. It's AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 1. We're going to let our radio listeners know about that Aldershot goal next time we update them. York City 2, Boreham Wood 1. York City ever closer to their first win of the season. Here's Nick Horton on the edge of the area. He's through to the edge, skips one way, then the other, then goes down a little bit too easily, and the ball goes through to Bycroft. And hearts were in mouths amongst the 150 or so Shots fans, and no doubt in this media bench as well, Al, as Horton just showed his class yet again.
Fantastic run, and he created a chance all on his own.
Ball out to the right hand side, good leap from Bird over Thomas, heads the ball into touch, and Aldershot Town need to show that they can apply some game management here. They've got what they want, which is a precious lead. They've got 16 minutes plus added time. Ball forward to Thomas, holds it up. He's dragged to the ground. Again, nothing's given. Stokes battling away for the ball. Conlon plays it forward off of Stokes and into touch. Zach Brunt, the scorer of that second goal for Barnet. Here at Mill Farm, it's AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 1. And Gold on Mateo, who did so much for Tommy Widrington at Kings Lynn last season, and who Tommy was in talks with to join Aldershot this summer, is now onto the pitch. He's come on for Pierce Bird, so they're throwing caution to the wind, Fylde. They're leaving Legenza and Sharman on. Mateo joining Horton as well now in attack. Ball up towards Mateo. He can't from the throw, and Aldershot get a foot in. Glover goes all the way back to Bycroft. He thinks he's fouled, nothing given. Bycroft clips the ball out to the right hand side. That's going to bounce into touch. We're going to see Tommy Willard shortly for Shots. He's going to come on for the Aldershot Town number 11. That's Ryan Glover, the goal scorer. It's an interesting substitution there. It's gone down a couple of times today, Ryan Glover. No, it's Josh Stokes, I beg your pardon. It's 27 for Stokes. Yeah, Stokes has gradually faded into the game. It'll be a straight swap, I think, for Shots as it stands at the moment. Aldershot have got to think about their shape now that Fylde have got an extra forward.
They were together at Kings Lynn, those two.
Yeah, Jones and Mateo pushing each other. The throw comes forward towards Mateo. He manages to flick it on. Kean Harry's volleys up to the other end. It'll go all the way through to Metcalf. And I don't doubt that even though Aldershot have equipped themselves well and look comfortable for a lot of this game, it's going to be a bit of a heart-stopping final 14 minutes plus added time here. Here's a ball forward from Fylde. Sharman picks it up on the edge of the area, but Ollie Scott does so well to read it and get in front of his man. Harfield gets there before it goes into touch and plays it forward. Willard battling away for it, but Phyllis Kirk will win it. Still no name on his shirt, but he's got a number 8 on the back of him now. Spreads the ball out to the right-hand side to Connor Barrett. Connor Barrett comes in, sends across to a far post, and rising at the far post, Ligenza heads it over the bar, and Aaron Jones did really well with him physically, just to make sure that he didn't get a clear header on goal. Well done, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it was a dangerous cross, and he got above. Was it above row? Was it? But it was a weak header in the end, and a goal kick.
Yeah, it's 1-1 between Wealdstone and Ebbsfleet, but Ebbsfleet have had a player sent off. It's Quevin Castro who's got the second goal for York that may lead them to their first victory of the season. Here's Fylde just shepherding the ball out behind their own goal at the other end. Still a relatively calm, muted Shots faithful who have been through this kind of situation many times and seen it end in heartache, so they won't be getting too carried away. But it is Fylde 0, Shots 1. Horton again picking the ball up on the edge of the area. Ball played through to Ligenza. Bycroft comes out. It's smashed into the goal, and the referee reacts to his assistant referee on the far side, who says it was offside, and Aldershot's blushes are spared, and it remains AFC Fylde 0, Shots 1. Al.
A great move by Fylde. Horton put through Amateo, and he finished. Ligenza, and he finished well, but he was just straight offside. So thank goodness for that.
You have to be so relieved that Horton didn't play from the start today. Is Whitmore heading the ball on? Lauren Tullage will compete for it, but the keeper comes to the edge of the area and snaffles it. And well, you did wonder if that was the moment, but here's a ball forward cut out by Harfield, and Scott will have a little bit of space to move into. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 6. Eastleigh can find no answer to Gateshead. Wealdstone now 2, Ebbsfleet 1. Aldershot coming down the left. I think that'll have too much on it. Scott battles well for it, but it goes behind the goal. He's had a good game. I mean, the result is the most important thing, Al, just to give you a first nudge in the next 10-12 minutes or so to be thinking about your Aldershot Town man of the match. I'm sure there might be a few contenders today.
I think it's a bit early for that at the moment.
Yeah, no, I don't want it. I just want you to start thinking about it. York 2, Boreham Wood 2, and still York can't win a game or can't get ahead towards the end of a game. Here's Fylde coming forward with Condon. Ball in. There's definitely pushing and shoving. Ball breaks free, and Harries clears it up towards halfway, where he's looking for Kwame Thomas. Ball comes off Obi into the path of Willard. He plays it into the feet of Tollage. Tollage is pulled down to the ground by Conlon. For me, that's cynical. For me, that should be a yellow card. But the referee has had pretty good control of the game. Doesn't reach for it. It's a free kick, though, to Shots. They got a chance to take a little bit of sting out of it. Why on earth have they gone right back to halfway? The free kick's not there.
It was definitely on the edge of this circle.
It was 10 yards ahead of where it is, but the referee hasn't picked up on it. Aldershot obviously not doing the opposite to taking an advantage of that. And Harries is going to play the ball, clip it towards Kwame Thomas, who gets a flick on up in the air. Ball headed across by Ollie Scott. Yeah, we're in the 80th minute, and 10 minutes ago the Shots dared to take the lead. Hang on though, because they're on the edge of the area. Oh, what a goal! Tyler Frost arrows it into the far corner, and the Shots double their lead in the 80th minute. It's a blistering strike from Tyler Frost, and what might have been a really nervous last 10 minutes, Cameron, could be a little bit more comfortable now, because it is Fylde 0, Shots 2. Let me just tell you about that first goal. Glover scored it, cutting in the inside left channel. Good hold-up play from Kwame Thomas, and then Glover poking it towards the far post. I don't know if it was intended as a finish or a ball to the far post, but it found its way in, and I'm delighted that Aldershot have been able to double their lead with the listeners of Radio Surrey hearing us as well. 81 minutes gone. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 2.
Well, that was a great strike, but it was also good play. Free kick on halfway. Harris played it forward. Tolage put in Frost in a little pocket of space, and he controlled it perfectly and let fly from 25 yards, and it went arrowed into the far corner. Brilliant goal, brilliant team goal, brilliant strike.
Wow, what a moment for Tyler Frost. What a potentially moment for Aldershot, who've never left Fylde with anything, not even a point, and only 1 goal in 3 previous appearances. Now they lead 2-0 with 8.5 minutes plus whatever's added left. And they have a relative cushion of a 2-goal lead. Fylde, just to remind you, have brought Horton on, they brought Omateo on. There's a smart back heel from Glover to change the direction of play, and he feeds Ollie Scott. Scott up to Tollage, good ball inside to Willard. Willard to Glover. Glover bends it around his man out to the right hand side to Aaron Jones, who sends the cross in. Tollage rises, headed away by Obi. Clipped down the line by Fylde towards Omateo, who holds it up. Frost interested but can't get onto it. And Fylde looking to build again. They've got Omateo up front, they've got Legenza up front, they've got Sharman up front, they've got Horton in pockets behind them, and they're going to push and push and push. But Aldershot are 7.5 minutes plus added time away from a precious first 3 points on the road this season, from a precious clean sheet potentially as well. Who knows with this Aldershot Town team? Regular listeners will know nothing's done yet, Al, and if you're a supporter of any other team, you'd probably think it's done and dusted, but we know it isn't, don't we?
No, there's too many squeaky bums in the past. I just think that we deserve the points, but it's not over yet.
The York goal against Bournemouth has been ruled out. It's still 2-2 there. Ball forward from shots, headed away by Whitmore. He's had a good battle with Thomas today. Comes forward this time. Rowe heads it back. Conlon wins it in the air. Frost wins it in the air. Obi heads it down to Whitehead, and Fylde clip it down the line. Rowe clips it into a little pocket of space in the right channel. Thomas will chase. He's just got enough pace to go away behind the goal, away to our right. And Alan, 83.5 minutes gone. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 2. Are you pinching yourself?
I am, and it's all about game management now, isn't it? They've got a lot of threat up front of Kobe Rowe was lucky to get a free kick there, but
good spot from the referee Michael Crusham there, who gets a bit of a moan and groan from the home faithful as he gives a little nudge of the sort that players will be getting away with a lot this afternoon. It's frustration, more of it for the home supporters. Widrington, of course, himself went toe-to-toe with AFC Fylde last season, didn't he? I think there was a 3-3 draw and a narrow win for Fylde last season in the games between Kings Lynn and Fylde. There's a ball forward, left, and Willard onto it, into the area. A little bit of hesitancy from Fylde. Eventually they clear. Harfield should be able to get there first. Heads it into a pocket of space, hooked on by Omateo. And Harfield, who's signed a new contract this week for Aldershot for an extra couple of years, which is great news, has done really, really well at left centre-back this afternoon. Whitmore again beats Thomas in the air. Thomas looks tired, very tired, but he's played his part in holding the ball up for shots. Here's Sharman playing the ball into the path of Horton, who gives it back to him. Sharman tries a shot from distance. It's got a big deflection on it, but Jack Bycroft in the Aldershot Town goal reads that well, dives down low to his right, and he's now 5 minutes plus added time away from his first clean sheet for Aldershot Town and from Aldershot Town's first clean sheet of the season.
Yes, I think it's while I'm talking.
Aldershot looked to be building on the right, but Jones' touch forward is cut out by Fylde, and Legenza goes forward down the right hand side, tries to get his cross in, does well. Slice clearance by Cian Harris, and thankfully for Aldershot, it's misread by is it Legenza or I can't see which. No, it was actually Omateo.
Yeah.
There was a little deflection on it. Harris didn't make the contact he wanted, but Fylde have still got it. The sun's shining brightly again away to our right after a little period. Good poaching from Frost. He pokes his foot in, but he can only find Obi. Whitmore, the only outfield player in the Fylde half at the moment, gives the ball to Whitehead. And the problem for Fylde is creating, isn't it? Because they've got 3 centre forwards and a number 10 out there, and they all want to get on the end of things. Good work from Jones. Buffeting away with Legenza, and the ball's in touch. Throw in to Fylde. Still nervous moments for the shots. 86 minutes are up. Fylde building on the left hand side. Legenza gives it to Omateo. Omateo goes back to Whitehead. Whitehead, ball into the area, cleared away by Harfield on his right foot, only as far as Whitehead. Horton picks it up on the edge of the area, and Frost has nicked the ball off him. He's done well. Plays it up to Kwame Thomas. Thomas holding it up, looks one way then the other, just holding it up really well. Pokes it back to Glover. Well done. Then a ball over the top, and Lauren Talaj will chase that, but he's just got enough pace to get inside to the penalty area for Metcalf to pick it up. It's a tired Aldershot Town out there that have given absolutely everything this afternoon. Aaron Jones rises, wins the header. Willard comes in to compete for the next ball, but Phyllis Kirk and Whitehead tidy up just in front of their back three. Now they've the deeper players because they've got so many forwards on. Ball to the edge of the area, held up by Sharman. Back via Whitehead to Conlon. Conlon to the edge of the area, out to Legenza. Legenza tries a shot. That's high, it's wide, it's over the stand away to our left. And while they fetch the ball or another, Aldershot Town will get the opportunity to get a breather, see another few seconds go by. One or two of the home faithful have decided that their side are not going to take any points this afternoon, and they're making for the exit. For Aldershot Town, well, they're battling for two things, Al. They're battling for the win, and they'll take that come what may at any cost from this point in. But they're also battling for a much desired and much hard-earned first clean sheet of the season.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say the same. It breeds confidence when you get a clean sheet, doesn't it?
It does. Fyle played the ball out to the left-hand side. It bounces once. Legenza will keep it in play on the left-hand side. No, he just takes it down now. He's one-on-one against Rowe. Tries to get his cross in. He does. It's headed away by Kean Harries. Only as far as Whitehead on the edge of the area. Whitehead clips it out to the right-hand side where Connor Barrett will run onto it. And he's in a straight foot race with Ollie Scott, who does really well. Goes to ground and clears it to touch. Read it well, Scott. Positioned himself well. Tommy Widrington's just pointing to his last remaining sub. Surely he'll use him just to even waste a little bit of time. It might well be Max Mullins. Takes his bib off. Throw in from Fylde is flicked on and cleared away by Kean Harries, only as far as Conlon. He volleys the ball up in the air to the edge of the penalty area. Omateo takes it down. It's sent back into the penalty area, but it's a horrible slice ball from Barrett. And Aldershot come away with it with Glover. Vicious spinning ball. Gets it under control now. Goes back to Scott. Scott can't get a vital touch. He's running out of space towards his own corner flag, and it goes out for a throw. Widrington's not happy about that. He's never happy, and I like that about him. Throw into Fylde. We're almost through the 89th minute. We wait to see another minute or so how much time is going to be had. Flick on by Mateo. Header away by Kean Harris, and then volleyed over the bar, I think, by Danny Whitehead. There were some appeals for a foul on Luke Sharman. Nothing given. Ref and assistant referee not interested. I didn't have the clearest view, and as the official man of the match is given to Sia Legenza. Sharman gets to his feet, nothing given. Any penalty for you there, Al?
I'm just going to say their finishing has been poor at AFC far, but Aldershot have defended well, especially Kieran Harries. I think he's headed everything in that area. So he's had a very strong performance defensively. We just need to keep it going for another, 5 minutes. Yeah,
it's going to be at least that, I'm sure. We are 15 seconds away from the end of the 90. Jack Bycroft takes the goal kick up towards Thomas, who's held off and beaten in the air by Whitmore. Moorhead tennis in the middle. Sharman can only head it to Rowe, heads it forward. Again, Whitmore beats Thomas. 7 added minutes as Omateo squares the ball inside to Horton, but Frost reads it really well, and he rides the tackle, and Aldershot could counter with Willard out to the right hand side to Kwame Thomas. He's into the edge of the penalty area, one way then the other. Can he get a shot in? He can, but it's blocked. It should break clear to an Aldershot Town player. It does, but spins viciously off to Rowe, and Aldershot keep going. Kean Harries over to the right hand side. That's too strong. There's some tired legs out there. Into a half a minute, 6.5 left of the added time here at Mill Farm, and it's still not done for the shots. They do have a precious lead. Tyler Frost, brilliant again, reading the game so well, and plays it off of Conlon, goes to ground awkwardly, and it will be a throw in to the shots.
Not just for his goal. Tyler Frost has had a superb second half. He's really got the energy of two men. He really has put himself about.
And he's landed awkwardly there, and he's just limping away. He's getting a bit of stick from one of the home faithful, just saying he's putting it on there. But Rowe throws it forward. Sorry, did you give him the man of the match, or you say he's a contender at this point?
He's a contender, definitely.
Yeah, he's a contender.
We've still got 6 minutes to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Frost and Glover have done so well in the centre of midfield again. Rowe heads forward. Tolaj takes it down. Whitmore, who's been a colossus at the back against the target that Thomas is. He's not an easy man to mark, but he's done really well against him, Whitmore, other than the one time when Thomas was able to hold it up and feed the ball to Glover. Again, he comes over Thomas and wins it. Ball flicked over the back of their head. That's a push in the back from Glover. Horton knows it's coming. Horton goes down.
That's a tactical foul, that.
Yeah, 2 minutes of the added 7 minimum have been added on. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 2. Henry Ochieng lovers, you're finally going to see your man. He's going to be the third substitute for Aldershot. No, he's not been sold behind your back. No, he's not out injured. He is in the Aldershot Town squad, and he's about to come on. Anyone's guess. I'd imagine Frost or Glover will come off. At the moment, though, at the back, Obi plays the ball forward. It's headed on by Phyllis Kirk, but the loose ball bounces down to Glover. Willard holds it up, gives it out to Scott on the left-hand side. Dare I say Scott, Frost and Glover, the three that are in your mind, or is there any others?
Harries, defensively.
Yeah, Harries has done well. I mean, it's not a clean sheet yet. It's still clean, but we've got time to go. Here's Tolaj battling away from the ball. Doesn't quite fall for him. And Fylde come forward again. Sharman battling away, holds it up, gives it to Whitehead. 3 of the minimum of 7 minutes have been added on. It's still AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot Town 2. Here's Whitehead looking to clip a ball over the top to Ligenza, who's been given the official Fylde man of the match. On the left-hand side, in it comes, clip to the far post from Conlon. Ball's up in the air, it's loose. Rowe heads it clear. I'm going to update our radio listeners now. Right, 3.5 of a minimum of 7 minutes have been added. It's still Fylde 0, Aldershot 2. I hope you don't get a live goal, because it's Fylde who are on the attack. Ball's played out to the right-hand side, drifts behind the goal, and it'll be a goal kick to Aldershot. So we are 3 minutes and 15 seconds away from 2 firsts here at Mill Farm. 3 firsts, sorry. Potentially Aldershot's first clean sheet of the season, their first points of any kind on the road, and their first points of any kind here at Mill Farm, where they've only lost on previous visits. Tyler Frost comes off, Ochieng on the final sub. Join us one more time, and hopefully we'll have good news on 3 fronts for you when this one finishes.
Well, Tyler Frost deserves a rest.
Sorry, Al.
I said Tyler Frost deserves that rest. He's really put the 100% in the second half, and he certainly would be in contention. Yeah,
the whole game, I'd say. I don't think he timed his runs first half. He wasn't able to get forward onto too much, but what a huge goal he scored for Aldershot in the last away game of the season that they got points in, and that was at York. He predicted he was going to score that today. I spoke to him pre-match today, he didn't. But here's Whitehead. Is he going to shoot from the edge of the area? No, he sends it out to the right-hand side to Connor Barrett. Barrett tries to get the ball in, that's cut out. It comes clear, and then Harfield puts his foot through it. And Tolaj is in a foot race, but with Obi. But a really poor sliced clearance from Metcalf, who'd come way out of his area, and that's just what Aldershot need. Going into the 96th minute of a minimum of 97, slices it in touch. Aldershot have a throw in halfway inside their own half, and they're getting ever closer to those first points here ever, and their first points on the road, Al.
Yeah, and I think on the 90 minutes they deserved it. They've had their moments, they've had their scares, but I think they've played some good football as well.
Fylde clear their lines, but only as far as Scott. Tolaj picks it up inside the penalty area. Ooh, he rifles a shot into the side netting. He's threatened the goal all afternoon, Tolaj. Not quite been able to find it, but nevertheless the shot's still asking questions of a bruised and battered and beaten up Fylde defence that have now conceded 21 goals this season in just 8 games. The manager changed it up today. He left Horton out, he's brought him on, he's looked good, he's looked creative, but I don't know, maybe he was tired, maybe he wanted to try something different. It hasn't worked, but here's Whitehead again on the edge of the area, clipping a ball into the far post, over everybody, drifts into touch, and it'll be another goal kick to Aldershot Town. And even I, a hardy Aldershot Town supporter of 50 years, is beginning to believe that even if they don't keep a clean sheet, Aldershot are going to win this match, Al.
Yeah,
That's a brave prediction with 30 seconds to go, isn't it?
I go a bit deeper than you, but yeah, I've had my fair of disappointments. So
you only go deeper than me because you're older than me, Al.
I know.
7 years old I was when I first watched them. Long, huge goal kick from Jack Bycroft. It's headed into touch by Whitmore, who's won every headed duel in the second half with Thomas, and it's probably about 15 duels, isn't it?
Yeah, but Thomas has made him.
He's ploughed away, hasn't he?
He's made him make the effort.
Yes.
You know, he's not.
Here he comes, and Thomas has won the next header against Whitmore. Well done. Yeah. Ball's up in the air. Glover jumps with Sharman, who's getting deeper and deeper as more attacking players come on. Now it's just a ball straight down the middle from Fylde. Mateo flicks it on only as far as Cian Harries. As you rightly say, he's had a good game in the centre at the back for shots. The added time is up with 19, 20, 21 seconds into more added time. Aldershot have got a throw in on the left-hand side. Aldershot are waiting to bring Maxi Mullins on. The referee is now going to allow it. Third and final substitution of the day for the shots. It's the number 18 that's going to come off for the shots. That's Ollie Scott. And Max Mullins for Scott. And this one's pretty much done. All that remains is for Aldershot to cross the T's and dot the I's with the clean sheet that would be much, much appreciated and much hard-earned.
You can tell they've played well. The home crowd are virtually silent, and you know, they had their moments, AFC.
Yeah, they did.
But
particularly in the first half of the second half. There is the final whistle. Double fist pump from Tommy Widrington. 2-0 win for the shots at Fylde. He shakes hands with Adam Murray. And, well, it's still a very passive home crowd at Mill Farm, who just probably reluctantly accept that they were second best on the day. Sorry, you haven't come to us, have you? I thought they'd come to us on the radio. No. Al, I think you've got a moment or two to sum up. I'll break you off if I need to. Well done, Tommy Widrington. Well done, Aldershot Town. And they're going to the 5 o'clock news. So over to you with your final summing up. A fourth win as guest summariser. Well done, Al. 2-0 win. Summing up from you with your man of the match.
Our first stint together this season where we've seen a win, so I feel doubly delighted. It's a long trip. We've had traffic problems, but it's all been worthwhile. Several contenders for man of the match. Ollie Harfield had a good game on the left flank, backed by Ollie Scott in front of him. And also in the middle, Ryan Glover and Tyler Frost worked their socks off. But I'm going to give it to Cian Harris because we kept a clean sheet, and that is a novelty for Aldershot. He defended excellently. He gave the ball away a couple of times, but from a defensive viewpoint, he was a colossus.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Al. And good afternoon to somebody in Cyprus. I'm so sorry I don't have your number saved. It says, get in, great commentary, enjoying the game from Cyprus. 3 great firsts at last, an away win. So sorry. If you know who's in Cyprus, let me know.
Quite a few seated supporters.
Yeah, there are. There's at least, they didn't give the away attendance, but there's 1,384 in the ground, and I suspect at least 150, if not 200, Aldershot Town fans.
I'd say 175.
And happy
we'll see later,
yeah, happy moments away to our right. I'll just take a photo if I can for Twitter purposes and try and get that out. It's fantastic afternoon on the road for shots. I doubted them after they didn't score in the first half in what was a pretty dominant performance. But they went on and got the job done anyway after a spell of 20 minutes where Fylde had a much better period. And well done, Cian Harris looking over, and excellent stuff from the shots. And well, if there was a place that they would come that you might not expect any points, it was here. And they've gone and got the job done, and every player has played their part in that performance, Al, haven't they?
Yeah, I was saying a lot of players have come into criticism at various points this season, but a few of them answered those critics today. Kwame Thomas put in a real shift up front. He didn't win every header, he didn't win every challenge, but his commitment was 100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think that the whole team played well.
Tyler, when you've had your chat come out, I want to talk to you.
Forgive me there, listeners. I just wanted to attract Tyler Frost's attention, and I said to him, when you've had your chat, get yourself up here because we want to talk about that win, that goal. And, well, many may have doubted Tyler Frost and Ryan. Are we on air? Oh no, we're not on air. Many may have we're not on the radio. Many may have doubted Frost and Glover as a midfield too. Have they just had their best afternoon in an Aldershot Town shirt, doing their job thoroughly in midfield and finding a goal each as well, Al?
Yeah, well, I said to you before the game, I thought that I thought that AFC Fylde's strength was in midfield with the vastly experienced Phyllis Kirk, Whitehead, and one or two others that have had a few games in the English Football League. But Frost and Glover were magnificent. They never stopped running. Their energy levels were absolutely phenomenal. But because it was a clean sheet and because we defended so well in the box, I just felt that it had to go to a defender. And Bycroft didn't have really a difficult save to make, did he? He made one or two smart saves, but to be honest, the defenders in front of him kept it to a minimum.
I'm so pleased for everybody connected with Aldershot Town. I'm so pleased for you, Al, and I'm pleased for every Aldershot Town fan that managed to make it. I'm pleased for that guy, Stephen Blackburn. Pleased for Stephen Blackburn. I'll get him to come up and have a word, actually, although he probably wants to go and congratulate the Aldershot management team. I think he's ended a very long run without a away win.
See.
Let's give him a shout. Stephen, come up. Oh, he wants to shake Tommy Widdrington's hand, and then we'll get some post-match chat with Aldershot Town supporter Steve Blackburn. He's exchanging an embrace now with Tom. Sorry, John Orme it is that's in Cyprus. Sorry, John, you must have changed mobiles since I last had your number. But great day for him. Great day for Stephen. Steve. He doesn't know that we want a word with him. But I want to have a chat with you live on air. So I don't know if you've had a drink. No swearing. Come and have a chat with me because I think you might have ended a run today. If I read correctly on Facebook, hang on. Come to the microphone. This is Steve Blackburn, right? He's a little bit croaky. You've just come over to congratulate the Aldershot Town manager, and obviously you'd always be delighted with any 3 points on the road, but it's more special for you, isn't it? Tell us when you last saw Aldershot win.
Yeah, it was the 15th of September 2019 at Stockport, and I've seen about 20 odd games since then. Although York last year away felt like a win, but this is the first time in 4 years I've seen us win, and I'm delighted.
Yeah, well, a little bit of fame for you. Sammy was, of course, on TNT Sports at Eastleigh the other week.
I can just get my wife wangled in at some point and we'll complete the set. Thanks.
What's her name? What's her name?
That's Dusty, my wife.
Dusty, the poor long-suffering wife of Steve Blackburn. We're giving you a wave. We're giving you a shout-out on air. Cheers, Steve. All the best, mate. Take care. Really magical moment there for Steve Blackburn. Believe it or not, my own brother Patrick Warlow, who was listening, I don't know if he still is, came to about 15, 18, 20 odd shots home games in over a spell of 2.5 years, and eventually saw that run ended, winless run last season as well. So what about you, Al? You used to be called the Albatross.
Yeah, I did, but that's did I say my 4th win with BBC Surrey? So
yeah, and let's not even talk about how many losses and defeats there were. We're now waving and receiving a double fist pump and some kisses from Gina Basildon.
You need a lift to the station, don't you? But
yeah. What
I was going to say, it's the clean sheet is just as important as the 2 very good goals. And Ryan Glover, I must have been, I was swayed by him after scoring the goal, but I've got to give it to Harry's because of the clean sheet.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I think you do want to reward a defender on a day when Aldershot finally keep a clean sheet. I think we've got to do our final report to radio yet. I don't think we've done it yet.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever known one be this late, but hopefully we can update our radio listeners soon so we can get packed up and get out of here. Are you ready? Would you mind coming up, Tommy? Thank you. Can you hear me in the studio, Cam? You still haven't come. Have we done a final match report? Tommy Widrington's coming up to join me. So instead of a match report, you might want to take the interview live. Cam, can you hear me? Ooh. Can I get some very quick feedback from the Aldershot town manager, Tommy Widrington now. Well done, Tommy. Excellent win. Just bear with us because believe it or not, they still haven't come to us for the final report, but I'm going to try and switch that for a chat with you, which is far more poignant and going to be far more interesting than any wrap-up of the game that I can do. Cam, can you hear me, please? My producer in the studio. OK, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. They will be recording. I may have to reintroduce you halfway through. Joined by Tommy Widrington. 3 firsts. A first ever points for Aldershot Town here at Mill Farm. A first points on the road this season. And your first clean sheet. Now that is the kind of hat-trick you like, Tommy, isn't it?
Yeah, delighted. I'm really delighted. I'm as delighted with the clean sheet as I am with the goals. I think we'll score in most games we play, the way we attack. But we've really worked hard this week. At the whole group, not just the defenders and the goalkeeper. It's not about that. We're all in it when we're scoring and we're all in it when we're defending. And I thought the collective effort from everybody, from Kane at the middle at the back to Kwame, who I thought was a man mountain for us today, but everybody around them two boys were absolutely superb and give me everything. So I'm delighted. Yeah,
good stuff. So many positive notes to look at, but I have to admit, I wondered after really pretty dominant. Oh, hang on, they're going to come to me now. Let me introduce you, Tommy. Sorry. It ended 2-0 for the Shots, and they got that first win on the road this season, their first ever points at Mill Farm and a first clean sheet. Now, if you don't mind, can we substitute, please, the final match report for a chat with Tommy Widrington, who's here alongside me. Tommy, just to recap, first win on the road, and you must be delighted with your team's performance right from 1 to 11 and your subs.
Yeah, very much so. We worked really hard this week. I thought, at least I was delighted with the way we played going forward last weekend, and people have sort of vilified me a little bit when I've mentioned on a couple of occasions we've lost away from home, that I've actually been quite pleased with a lot of the performances. Again, the first half, I thought we dominated the game. We just didn't put the ball in the goal, which isn't like us. We're good going forward. But like I said, as a group, collectively, we worked really hard. Structurally, right through the group, everybody had the defensive hat on and were determined to give Jack a clean sheet, which I'm absolutely delighted about.
Yeah, and did it cross your mind? I mean, you're such a positive manager, I know that, but I did wonder if, 6 or 7 little half chances in the first half, you knew that Fylde had to change things up. They had Mateo and Horton on the bench, and they had a good first 15 minutes to the second half, Tommy. That was their best spell in the game. And then, at the end of that period, your side took the lead. That must please you.
Really, it did. I mean, we spoke about it before going in to speak to the lads at half-time, me and Richard. You sometimes rue the fact when you've been as dominant as we have, we just didn't pull the trigger, we didn't have the detail on the cross, whatever it was. We just didn't finish off the very good moves that we were creating. So, yeah, when you're away from home, you're always going to have a spell when you're going to be under the cosh a little bit. And like you said, they come out, they obviously got a bit of a rocket from Adam, and they responded. But we stood firm, seen them off. And like you said, we've gone and scored how I thought we would score. The 2 guys in the middle of the park are very, very good at driving with the ball, and they both did that and put it in the net.
Right, stay with me, Tommy. For the benefit of our radio listeners, that sums up the key points from the Aldershot town manager, Tommy Widrington. The final score here at Mill Farm, AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot 2. Right, still recording, Tommy, just not on air now. We'll look ahead, of course, to the Gateshead game in just a moment, but I want to talk to you about so many plaudits for all the team today as a collective, but 1 or 2 people might have questioned, especially as you've had absentees. Tyler Frost and Ryan Glover in the centre of midfield. Was that their best afternoon for you? Because they did everything asked of them and they both got forward and scored as well.
Well, I'm delighted they've got goals. I mean, they've got that in them. They're very much forward-thinking players, and if you can play as an attacking midfielder in a wide area, for me, you can play in the middle. So, I don't think I'm asking them to do things that that's alien to them. I've explained in very simple terms what I want from them both, and like you said there today, they've both delivered with a goal each, which is an absolute cherry on top of the cake. So yeah, I've no problem. I like both players in there, and I like them both in wide areas, the pair of them. So they're part of the group. Other people aren't available for one reason or another, and so they've been in there for a couple of games, and I think they've done well. So yeah, I do know what I'm doing.